What is shaking, everyone over on the Patreons? This is your pre-show. It's your boy, Nick Scarpino, coming at you live. Well, not really live. Pre-recorded, unfortunately, because as of recording this, apologies to everyone who's waiting along in the chat. YouTube just borked. Not our YouTube, just YouTube in general borked. I blame E3. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, that's a pretty solid bet of people to blame.
Right.
According to downdetector.com, YouTube just down.
YouTube just down.
Just down.
No,
You have to assume a lot of people are streaming stuff for E3 this week.
Yeah.
I blame E3 again, and I think we should stop doing that show. I think that's just the whole point of today's
support
podcast.
that.
Just stop
No
video
more
game industry.
I mean, it's definitely
It's
not
been a
down.
lackluster E3 so far. We don't need this event anymore. We have a year-round E3 now. People can do their own directs. Let's just
Do we
stop
all have
it.
to get together during what is inevitably the hottest week of the year?
It's midsummer. It's scorching hot in the studio right now. Both Joey and I, audio listeners, if you're listening to this, we're dewy. Dewy is the name of the game.
Great.
It's not fun. I'm going to close this down. I'm
took
actually
my
closing this down, my laptop down right now because it's putting out heat.
Yeah.
And I want
My
it to
phone,
just...
very hot.
Yeah, it's so hot. Everything's so hot. What's up, Big Andy?
I feel like throughout the day, everyone's just like lost more pieces of clothing. Like there's now like a shoe section. It's like too hot to wear shoes.
Oh, there's shoes over by the door airing out. Andy's wearing socks, which good for you, but I would take those the fuck off
I
right
have
now if I
socks
could.
too right now.
How are you two feeling? Because you worked your asses off starting last Saturday, right? Or Sunday. You guys come in Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah.
How has it been for you?
It's been good. It's been really nonstop, on and off camera, and then straight to making art assets and things like that, and taking photos of each other, and which thumbnail will work better, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's been really nonstop, but it's been awesome to see the reaction to everything and the response that we've been getting.
I saw you get a nice little pop with your reactions to Keanu Reeves being in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it was cool, dude. And it was cool to see, like, even Twitch break that out and make their own. Like, Twitch always breaks out whenever there are big moments on people's streams, and they'll tweet out, "Hey, check this out," or whatever. And they made an actual edit of us reacting to, fit in the little like square format that Twitter has.
Yeah.
And it was really cool that the fact that they did that, and we're like, check out Kind of Funny's reaction or whatever, live at E3 or whatever.
That's weird.
It was awesome. It was really cool.
Does it weird you guys out that we do stuff here that people have to report on?
Yeah.
That's strange.
Now,
right?
yeah, well, I mean,
Especially the
that's-
showcase.
Now that's the case, yeah. Are we in the pre-show?
Yeah, we're in the pre-show already.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm grilling you guys with questions while you both are about ready to pass the fuck out from the heat.
It's not nearly as bad as it was yesterday.
Yesterday was one of the hottest, I think probably hottest days of the year so far, I would imagine,
It was like
up here in San Francisco.
97.
I'd say the hottest.
It was
yeah.
in the solid 90s.
It was
to the point
hotter than
where-
it was in Texas.
So on Sunday, I started not feeling very well, and I always do this when I have back-to-back shows, and I just wear myself down. So on Sunday, I started not feeling very well, and didn't have to come in because there's absolutely nothing for me to do here during E3 time. And it's like,
Way too hot.
yeah, I hit up Tim. I was like, y'all need me? He's like, no,
That's
just
one extra
fucking
body
stay home.
heat. No, thank you.
Yeah.
But
I
my
missed
wife.
you.
Thanks, Cav. I missed you back. I noticed because you're the only one that texts me gifs of things, which we'll use all of those on Internet Explorers when Andy and I host that on
Well,
Thursday.
Let's make
What?
sure we,
What?
like go through it. Make sure there's no links to anything else.
Of course, I'm going to go through and make sure there's no links to anything else. I'm a professional here.
Oh, that's
I wouldn't
right.
bring up people's slacks just naked with all the horrible shit we slack each other back and forth.
That's not true. We don't have naked slacks.
I'll call it naked slacks just because it's funny.
Yeah, that's what he calls
No
it.
slacks.
No slacks. We don't actually.
slackless.
We don't slack each other new stuff. I text all the new stuff to Kevin all the time. Mostly just nudes of me.
Just
I don't know about
direct
any of that.
Yeah.
line of communication.
I did this thing right now where I just I got a one of my Neutrogena grapefruit facial wipes
They smell very good.
and just kind of like cleaned off this layer of dust.
You smell like a champion. It smells like
you
like
also kind
hot.
of smell like hot Cheetos.
You do a little, and your
I think that's just
your
my
fingertips
sweat.
are Cheeto-y.
Guys, you know what I could go for right now?
What's that?
A milkshake. A
Ooh,
Slurpee.
absolutely a milkshake, but I think it's a little too warm
A
for a
raspa.
milkshake. But
Okay.
no, one of those like Flintstones push pops.
Yeah, Kevin.
Those are
Oh
so
man,
good.
I'd eat the shit out of that.
Or some
I
Otter
see.
Pops.
The thing with all that stuff is it just sounds sticky. I don't want to be sticky right
Well,
now.
eat like an adult. Don't get sticky.
And no matter what you do with the Otter Pops and those things, you got to push the thing up and then it just gets everywhere.
You hold it with a paper towel. Like you
Oh,
put.
then the paper towel sticks to it, and then you're eating paper towel. It's disgusting.
I mean, if you're a moron and don't look at what you're
You
eating.
literally have
you
Cheeto
need-
fingers right now. You're going to tell me I'm the moron? How dare you,
Your
sir?
Cheeto fingers, though.
Sorry, burn my- wearing blue. No, so Sunday, right, comes along. My wife's like, hey, do you want to walk over to get dinner? I was like, absolutely. Let's totally walk. It's a beautiful day outside. We get a half a block. And I'm like, we are going to die. We need to turn around and get in the air-conditioned car and go over there. And thank God my air conditioning is kind of working.
Yeah.
Because that's just what had to happen. But I felt for you guys Sunday and Monday being here with zero. Just Greg running around sweating all over the place.
Computers
Getting all
rendering
excited. Computers
and uploading
rendering.
and
Oh,
yeah.
God,
It
that
was
sounds
real
horrible.
bad. There was a while there where I was like, I'm just going to work out of my car. It's worth the $40 in gas.
Oh, I would have totally. We would have paid you guys back for the gas. That's the problem that a lot of people don't understand. There's obviously hotter places on the planet. You know, whenever we start complaining about the heat in San Francisco, everyone from Texas is like, "Oh, you don't fucking know."
Dude, it's a
so
Fucking
hot.
Josh Flanagan on Twitter
Dude,
giving someone
Josh
shit.
Flanagan.
It's an argument you can't win because you say, yeah, it's fucking 85 degrees here. People are like, oh, it's 114 here. Yeah, but you guys have air conditioning. Why don't you guys have air conditioning?
Because it's
it's
San
fucking
Francisco.
hot for 1 out of 365 days of the year. God damn
One of my
it.
favorite things is
can't explain it to these guys.
Watching all the people walk around with fans they just bought. And then,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? They're just like this. You could see the sign on the fan that says "All sales final" on fans because people just buy them and then totally throw them out like a week later
Yeah.
when it gets cold again.
No one has room to
Nah,
store
I use
those.
my fan all the time. I use my
Really?
fan at night. I have.
I have a fan that's on just for noise.
It's my noise, yeah.
But I don't like that during the cold months just because it's too fucking.
I still
always
use it.
makes cold.
Couldn't you just face
But
it the
I
other
point
way?
it at the wall. Yeah.
I do. I face mine up, but Dee doesn't like it because she swears that it kicks up the dirt, all of it, like the dust everywhere.
it's probably
And so
true.
she's like, you know, she gets weirded out that it's like hypo or not. It's like kicking up allergens. Into
It's
the
also
air.
easier to
You
kind
need
of get
air
a
filter.
throat sickness.
I feel like
It dries
yeah, because
everything
it
out.
dries
Yeah.
everything out. But having said that, I was like, turn that fan on to me because, like I was mentioning when I walked in today, my wife at night was like, I'm going to open up all the windows, and it was actually.
Can we see
not,
chat, Kev?
There is no
We're
chat.
not
We're not
streaming
live,
because YouTube's
unfortunately,
down.
because
Oh, you
YouTube
missed
is
that,
down.
yeah.
Oh, that's what I missed.
Yeah, if YouTube
okay.
goes up at any point, Kev, feel free to go live and let us know.
There's no way to know that though.
But that's true. There's no way to know it.
Oh, yeah, it is fully down. Holy
Yeah, we
shit.
apologize, everyone,
Wait,
but this
but-
is unfortunately beyond our control. If you guys are watching this and wondering why you couldn't watch live, it's because YouTube is finally done. They're done. I've been
They
saying
gave up.
I've been saying YouTube's dying for years. They're done.
I'm watching YouTube right now.
You're watching what?
I mean, it's different services.
are you watching someone live on YouTube?
Oh, is it the live component?
Well, I would imagine it's the servers that push all the live stuff live that are
Good
down.
enough. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's tons of times where like EA is down, and yet people like in Twitch chat would be like, "Oh, it's working for me." It's like, yeah, well, like you know, some
Different
things
region,
work, and yeah,
different
Yeah.
servers, different tech. I have no idea how big or how like you have to imagine the department that runs the YouTube like live streaming services is a fairly large
Oh my
department.
God.
But maybe it's like 3 dudes. Who knows? You never know. Like, you know.
maybe a lot of it is automated or something.
Yeah,
like
most,
that.
and they just have like 3 engineers and like everything's good. And then when it goes bad, they're like, "Fuck, this sucks."
Maybe it's just run by hamsters, you know?
What
That's
happened?
possible.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
If you close all those windows, I'm going to be really upset because it's hot.
Don't close the windows. Just
Maybe this is something
go
that-
down to the street and
this is
smoke
something that we
cigarettes, and when you're back, when you're there, get me an iced coffee.
Do you know that there's a
I'm telling
do you know
you
that
this.
there's a Trenta coffee in the fridge?
Oh, I saw that.
All melted ice water.
it was.
I
so
do not
2 were
care.
purchased.
No, 4 were purchased.
4. Okay, one. Like I just remember Greg looking at this fucking cup of like. Probably a third of it is all ice water, and the rest of it is coffee. And Greg was like, "This is like the saddest thing ever that someone bought this perfect coffee and did not put it in the fridge. It just stayed out on Tim's desk like the whole day."
It's a casualty of the E3 war.
Yeah.
I saw Tim tweeting about like he's wearing shorts on the deck and he had like 4 Trenta iced coffees, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But
He walked in with the whole tray of them yesterday. And I was like, that's impressive. I only got one. Why is Kevin on the floor?
that's it, Kev. We were
All
wondering.
we
We were
see
wondering
in
if it was
the
gonna go.
little corner
What are you doing? Go over to your mic. What are you doing?
His feet were
All right,
floating.
guys.
He landed on his back.
I officially fell for the first time in the studio.
Yeah.
I have brand new socks on. They
They're
are
slippery.
really slippery. Walked into the studio. The floor mat was moved, and I stepped on it, and the floor mat slid. And I was just like, "Oh fuck!"
So
all I saw was like,
so you saw
sucks.
that. All I saw was 2 of the Kev's little feet pop into the doorway. And then his silly little laugh.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Gosh,
god.
this is so upsetting.
There it is. There it is.
Wow.
That was a milestone for Kevin for a very long time. That was a hill that he was ready to die
I'm
on.
gonna
which is
tweet it out.
He
Kevin
said, "I
fell
have
for the first time
never
today."
fallen in the
how many
studio."
years of it?
It's been 4 years working
Here?
with Kevin. Oh, 3 years here, almost right. Yeah, we did 3 years here already because we're coming up. I just
I
renewed
guess
the
it's
lease.
August, right?
No, we already passed
You
the
guys didn't.
lease renewal. And it's
crazy.
gone. That was like 2 months ago.
Dang.
I've been paying that new
don't
rent. That
understand.
new rent.
Oh.
Yeah. Kev, how's your butthole? Is it good? Okay, great. He fell right on his asshole. Like, not his ass, just like hole. You felt hole. You heard hole make contact.
We're really lucky that door stopper wasn't any closer
You
to
would've fallen
Kevin.
out the
Are we
window,
lucky?
dude.
Are we lucky? That would have been just icing on the cake.
My
for this
favorite
week.
is
We killed
just in the
Kevin
doorway
finally.
seeing Kevin's 2 little feet.
Popped right back up though, guys.
I respect that everyone's wearing these tiny little socks too.
Yeah.
got normal socks.
I normally wear long socks, but
Kevin would be the reason why we can't take our shoes off at the office anymore. You know, like Kevin keeps falling. We're like, we just have to have a no shoe off policy.
Can't we just have like a individual policy for that? Like if the rest of us are responsible enough to not wear shoes when it's hot?
I mean, I'm wearing flip flops right now, and I'm happy as a clam because it's so good. How long do we usually go for the pre-shows?
about 15.
15?
15.
We'll go a little bit longer since people are probably they're needing this. We haven't put out enough content this week.
Yeah.
We gotta put out more.
Well, yeah, I'm super glad that when I walked into the studio and was like, how about we don't put up party mode this week? And Tim was like, fuck yeah, don't do it. Like we have way too many
gonna
things
get
going
buried.
on. It's
Yeah.
going to get buried. It already is like not doing great view wise. I can't imagine how badly it would do if we were to put out
Oh, it
another
would do
episode this
nothing.
week.
No,
Yeah.
I mean it's better to hold it to next
Yeah.
week. That's
Yeah.
the thing is obviously that's one of the reasons why we have the 2 different channels is that so we don't like when E3 happens we don't have to completely shut down the other channel. But a lot of people, I saw a few people tweeting at us saying is KFAF still happening this week because it's the only show that I care about
That anybody
on
cares
TV
about.
or
Yeah.
internet.
Yeah.
And I said of course it is Doggy Dog. And by me I just liked when you replied to it because I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, because I'm the one who replied.
Yeah, you replied, but I liked it. I
Yeah.
said I like this.
But
Well, I like.
did you even read it? Or?
No, I just like everything you do.
Sure.
I like the
Thanks,
support,
man.
everyone.
Sweet.
It's cool.
Andy.
What's that?
Just Andy.
I like your stuff too.
Do you?
Yeah, you reply to everyone. You're always on there. You're an excellent community manager / production coordinator or whatever we call you these days.
Yeah, I don't think I have a. Tim was like, we got to figure out you a new job
I'm just
title
call you a production
in
coordinator,
December,
our
and I was like,
coordinator.
okay, we'll work on that.
December is always. It's like there's a week in December where we have like where we can actually think about things, and that's what happens.
And then we're like, yeah, we'll come back to it, and then we don't, because then we always plan January stuff.
Oh my God, yes.
Can we make Tim and Greg super jealous and just go do something real cool, like as a whole team?
You want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow?
Ah, cool. All right.
Is that it? Can we go to a different one though?
I
Is there
don't wanna
another
go to
goddamn
Buffalo
Buffalo Wild
Wild
Wings?
No, I definitely
anymore.
don't want
What
to
if
go.
we went to Olive Garden?
That last time, like I always feel like I'm okay with their bad service as long as the food is good. But this last time, it was still good, and it's
At
one of the
Buffalo
worst
Wild
experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
service-wise.
Were you there with
Easily.
us?
Yeah.
Man, it sucks because we love Buffalo Wild Wings. It's just the only
else
one
was
with
there?
It was me, you, Barrett, Cool Greg. I think Tim was there.
everyone was there.
I don't think Greg was there. I think
Oh,
Greg
yeah.
was out
Greg
for
was
the
a
EA
guest.
Place thing.
No one.
We didn't have
No,
a
we had-
It was Snowbike Mike.
We had
Yeah, we had
Snowbike
Snowbike
Mike
Mike,
there.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
felt bad because Mike Howard came down from Tahoe where they don't even have chicken wings. They don't have chicken. They have nothing
illegal.
up there.
It's illegal in that
up
country.
there. Well, because it borderlines Nevada and nothing's legal in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And so he came in and we're like, we're going to take you to Buffalo Wild Wings. He's never been before. He thought it was so beautiful that we
Brand
were
new
sharing our experience. And you know it's bad when the server had to come back 4 times to ask everyone what they ordered. I'm like, this is not going to be good. And Kevin was like, it gave Andy anxiety because I was angry. And he was like, Nick's going to go off on this person at any time. And it's giving me anxiety.
Yeah.
That's what you said to me.
I remember at one point towards the end, a bunch of botched orders, just constantly like getting asked questions. My food took forever to come out. I was
Your
the only
food was
one.
literally out by the time I was done with
I
mine.
was the last one to get the food by far.
Yeah.
And then they came back and were like, "Do you want another strawberry lemonade?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so my everyone was like, "Yeah, me too." They're like, "All right, 2 strawberry lemonades," and they only brought one for me.
Yeah.
And I kept drinking it, and I was drinking it, and they never brought one for Snowbike Mike, and I was just like, "You want some of mine or what?" And he was like, "Nah, I'm good, man." Like
Probably good too because we had to drive back to Tahoe that night.
We're already
So,
gonna leave, yeah.
we were
My
bouncing.
favorite part was when you got up in the middle
No,
and
they
just
were
refilled your
non-alcoholic
own
drinks.
soda. You're just like, I'm just going to do this myself.
That's a
I'm
Kevin
tired.
Coelho move right there. He's done that multiple times, and I'm just like, if I'm not going to get service in this place that I'm paying money for, I will go. I will
at least
literally
get
walk up to the
product.
machine and do it myself.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing.
You
is, like,
deserve to be embarrassed.
if the manager was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'd be like, "Well, I'm refilling my own soda because your staff sucks ball sack." That's what your staff does. They suck.
Which is
They're
weird
terrible.
because I feel like it's only this one Buffalo Wild Wings. There was one by my old house in Costa
Well,
Mesa that we used to go to all the time.
No,
Great
normally it's
service.
fine. You know, and the last time we were there it was fine. It was just the
consistently.
server that was serving us was like, "Well, I'm the only server on right now," and I'm like, "Well, that shouldn't be a problem because there's only 3 tables in here, and we're one of them." And then 2 other servers came on, and it never got that much more busy. I think people I honestly think it was just a laziness thing. I'm like, you could move faster. When I was serving food, like you had to move with a sense of urgency. That's what you did. You go, oh, there's more tables. I'm gonna physically move faster.
I think
write shit down.
I think we mentioned that we were kind of becoming part of the problem because clearly this establishment needs more workers during the daytime hours. Clearly. And the fact that we weren't complaining or talking about it, like to them, it's like, oh, we're smooth sailing. Everything's fine.
Dude, if I had seen a manager walking the floor, like, you know what I mean? Here's the thing. I would have asked the woman to go get her manager, the server.
She might as well have been one. We don't know.
I mean, we don't know, right? But first off, that would have meant she would have had to come back to the table at some point. And secondly, I have zero faith that she would have actually gone to get the manager because she couldn't even get your chicken wings that you ordered.
Yeah.
And it's an establishment where people serve chicken wings. It's
talking
not like
shit
we
about
asked her for
Buffalo Wild Wings,
escargot and she was like, hold on, let me go to France for those things. I was like, we just want buffalo wings.
Yeah.
And the place is called Buffalo Wild Wings. Make them wild, make them not wild. Who gives a fuck? Just give us the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Make them wild, tame. I don't care.
So what should we do that makes Greg and Tim jealous? They're not going to be jealous no matter what. Here's why.
Let's talk that about the podcast. Let's start the podcast.
Are we ready to start it? Mm-hmm. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'll be your host today. My name is Nick Scarpino. With me is Joey Noel sitting to the right.
Oh, hey, what's up?
And Andy Cortez
to your
rounding
immediate left.
to my immediate left, rounding out the table, Andy Cortez.
Hey, guys.
And over there producing and directing over there is Kevin. Kevin, how's your bum hole? How's it going?
Why are you asking about my
I'm referencing the pre-show so that people who don't support us on Patreon go, what is he talking about?
fine.
You guys can see this amazing moment on the pre-show where Kevin fell for the first time in the studio. And it was like we took a moment where
Oh,
it was
so
like, did you guys
good.
ever see JFK starring Kevin Costner back
No.
into the left? But where they
There's a
analyzed the
Zapruder
footage
film?
of it
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
That's what we did
I saw
for
it
a
in
moment.
middle school, actually.
It was
Just to be clear, it was not recorded.
it was not recorded, but our
You get to see
reactions
our
to
live
it were recorded.
reaction.
I'm sure you can hear it, though. I'm
Yeah,
sure
oh,
it came through on the
positive, yeah.
audio. Because it was just like a loud and I just see like feet
it
flying
sounded like
up in the air.
somehow it sounded like him falling and also going whoa 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 for like a good 5 minutes. I was like, what's he doing
It
over
sounded
there?
like a cartoon for
It,
sure.
honestly, yeah, it did. It really did. Because I went, "Whoo!"
And what's
God.
sad is that Kevin, you can
kicking
tell Kevin's pride is a little hurt because he has prided himself on never having fallen in this studio before.
Yeah.
It's never happened.
He clotheslined
it's the heat,
himself
guys.
earlier today.
It is the
on-
heat. It probably is the
A
heat
little
actually.
hook?
Everything's
Yeah,
all
we're delirious, Kevin. Our depth perception is off. We don't really know.
I mean, I'm sweating through these socks.
Yeah.
Being honest.
Here's the thing about this. We'll get back to this, but let's put a pin in that. Before we do, I do want to give a quick shout out to those of you that do support us on Patreon, and those who will support us as our producers. This week, our Patreon producers are George Lopez, Mark Starvaggi, Kieran O'Donnell, DJ Kento, and Sam Davis. If you all want me to read or Greg to read your name on the next podcast, KF podcast, and give you guys a shout out for being Patreon producers, go over to patreon.com/kindoffunny and back us at that tier. And if you guys just want to get the show early, ad free, and be a part of the pre and post show, you're going to want to be a part of the pre and post show. You guys
Even
can
if it's
do
just for this one, man.
Even for this one, you're going to want to hear that one. That was
Do you
really,
wanna-
really fun.
Do you want to be a part of history? That's
Do you
the real
want to?
thing.
Yeah, that was history. Be on the right side of history.
When I heard the fall, my immediate thought is
But Kevin fell through the wall.
no.
That's
My
what I
immediate thought
Kevin
was
fell through a wall.
Something was dropped.
Yeah.
I thought it was something having to do with Portillo.
Yeah.
He's wandering around.
I just thought something was dropped. Maybe him and Barrett are carrying something and it slipped out of their hands or whatever. But then I hear the thud and I look over and I see I see past the door frame. All I see is like kind of bottom half and legs kicking
It was
up.
I saw his cute little peg socks, and they were like 3/4 of the way up into the air down the door, in
Yeah.
the thing. It was just so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
And then it hit me like, wow, I was here for it.
Yeah.
You were
In
here
the
for
next
it.
80 years, when I'm no longer alive and I'm dead and I'm in heaven, I'll be thinking, wow, I was there for that moment.
You were.
Right?
No one else was.
No.
Like, where were you when
history
Mark
was made?
McGwire and Sammy Sosa were roided up, hitting home runs everywhere?
I was in
Elementary school.
I was probably in Orange County going to college at that point. Or maybe I was still in Riverside in high school. What year was that? When were the Bash Bros?
No, this is way earlier. No,
90s?
It was like
you were
late
like in
90s?
high school. You were maybe in
Mid-90s?
middle school.
What
Maybe.
year are we talking?
I'd say, gosh, I was maybe 8 years old. So
Kevin,
maybe
Google
like
the Bash Bros.
95?
No, it's not the
96?
Bash Bros. I'm talking like later than that.
Oh, that's the later when Mark McGwire
yeah,
was just
Mark
like...
McGwire and Sammy Sosa.
and Sammy- they were going
Before
back and
Sammy
forth.
Sosa became a white guy.
That's fair.
Before he started dyeing his
That's
skin.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was probably in high school.
This is like 95 maybe.
Yeah, that was high school then.
Yeah.
That was high school for me.
Wow, really? Fuck.
Yeah, dude, I'm old.
Well, no, you know what? No, that makes sense. Because I don't know why I'm assuming that middle school is like 10 years. It's not. It's 3.
No, yeah. Middle school's 2, wasn't it?
6th, 7th, 8th.
Yeah.
For me.
Oh, we had 7th and 8th.
Oh, okay.
Dang, that's crazy.
Look at Sammy Sosa's skin. Bring this up. This is crazy, dude.
I would also like to see creepy Sammy Sosa dabbing.
He did what?
That's
What
the
is-
headline.
does
Creepy
the-
Sammy Sosa does the dab in
Oh
London.
wow.
Is this
I
a real
assume that
thing?
means
Is,
like a dab.
Yes, this is a real
is he
thing.
lightening his skin on purpose?
Yep.
That's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
You never
He
want to
doesn't
see
even
that.
look at. Oh, I don't like that.
He just doesn't look. It's crazy.
God, he looks so much better with the tan skin.
It's
That
crazy,
naturally
dude.
beautiful tan skin.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
Oh my goodness. A couple housekeeping things, of course. It is E3 week, so make sure you guys check out, or was E3 week, I guess. When does it go live? Friday?
Friday.
When does it go live for Patreon people?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Fantastic. It is
Or
E3
tonight,
week,
I
so
guess.
make sure y'all go over to our other channel and check out all of our awesome content that we've put up. A lot of cool reacts to all of the conferences. And then, of course, Greg and Tim are down in LA. They're going to be doing games casts every day. And then also, if you want, make sure you follow Tim and Greg. They're going to be out streaming a couple things with GameSpot and a few other people. So double check that for timing. I'm not sure when the Battle Rig thing is. They're doing, I think it's
Thursday night.
Thursday night. Is it Thursday night?
You
Yeah.
can go to kindoffunny.com/E3 to get
There
the full
you go.
schedule.
There it is right there. And then, of course, I think they're doing a meet and greet as well. So you guys can check that out. Make sure you
They're
go
gonna
out.
be partying with all the celebs.
Well, here's the deal. Wait, before I get into that. Also, if you guys are listening to this, if it's Wednesday, June 12th, I am back at Cobb's Comedy Club. You can go to cobbscomedy.com. Check it out. It's the June 12th Stay Silly Comedy Showcase. I'll be there with a lineup of great comics if you want to come out. I think Joe's going for a cocktail. I'm buying cocktails.
It's so now I have
I'm buying
Portillo.
drinks.
It's so hot.
I'm buying you drinks.
Okay.
Just expense the whole thing.
Okay.
Whoever you sit with, just get rip-roaring drunk.
Me
You
and Gia,
deserve
man.
it. It's going to be a nice
Is there air conditioning
yeah.
there? Oh,
it's going to be a nice
wow.
air conditioned
Oh, it's
Cobb's
air
Comedy Club.
conditioned.
Yeah.
Oh, Joey,
Very
Joey
conditioned.
did. I
Yeah.
might even go next.
You should come. You should come. And then, of course, this episode of the Kind of Funny podcast brought to you by Green Chef and Upstart. But we'll get to those ad reads a little bit later in the show. Yeah, Greg and Tim, here's the thing. They eat this up. They eat E3 up. They like working real hard. They like being tired. They like everyone to see them stressed out. And then they go down to LA and wow, no time. Everyone's got no time at E3. Oh, I'm so busy. Everyone loves being so busy. What it really is just an excuse to get together and drink come 5 o'clock. Show floor's done. Can't do anything else. Let's go drink at the Fig. Oh, let's go to this exorbitant dinner. Let's do this. Let's do that. And that's really what the fun of
I'm
E3
so
is.
fucking sad we're not there. You know why? Because
No.
one of my favorite meals of my life was us going to that steakhouse after last year's E3.
Which steakhouse? Oh, Fleming's?
Yeah.
Fleming's.
That's one of my favorite
That's
places.
one of the best
Fleming's
meals
is
I've
so
ever
good.
eaten in my life, dude. And every day since then, I've been thinking, man, I can't wait to go back to E3 for some more Fleming's
I'll buy.
action.
Well, there's some Fleming's up here. We can go.
Is there?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
go. It's in
Downtown?
Palo Alto.
Oh, that's too far.
Well, there's Ruth's Chris in the city as well.
God, it
but
was so
Fleming's is
good.
my
Prime rib.
House of Prime
Everything
Rib's
was
good too.
so good,
Epic
dude.
steak. There's
Epic
plenty of
steaks
good
are
steak
really
places
good.
here.
Now that was really fun. So here's the origin of that. Right back in the day, me and my buddy Brennan used to be the heads of production and post production for IGN, and every year the managers would kind of give us shit for wanting to take the team out to a nice dinner, and we take the editorial team would go out and they would never have enough seats and they would never account for video, and it's always a shit show. So we always would tear off and go, hey, we're just going to take our team out to a nice dinner, and we'd make reservations at like Fleming's and just rent out one of the rooms, and we'd have 20 people there, and then inevitably a couple people from editorial would tack on and all that stuff. And Fran would always give me so much shit about how much it cost. Mind you, we've just worked I used to go down to E3 like Friday night.
Yeah, because that's all the setup. And
It was
everything.
just like, I'd go down Friday night so that Saturday morning we could start loading in the set so we could be ready for and then when the conferences got pushed even far back, we'd have to go Friday morning or Thursday night. So I'd be at E3 all fucking week down there, just burning it out and killing myself, as with the entire team. And what people don't understand is like when that, and Barrett can attest to this, when you hit Thursday, you're so fucking tired. You have worked probably a solid 14 to 16 hour day every fucking day. You're not sleeping because you're going out and
2
partying.
or 3 hours of sleep, maybe.
Because that's part of it is networking and making sure people in the industry know you. And if you're just a young up and comer or an upstart at a place like IGN, you want to get out there. You want to meet people. It's part of the it is the center point of the entire video game industry. And if you're a fan of that, or if you're someone who just really enjoys the industry, you're going to want to get out there and meet all the luminaries that are just wandering around at parties. Plus, it's just really, really fun. But so, yeah, we used to do that. We used to piss Fran off because he'd have to figure out how to expense it. And because we used to do like per diems at IGN were like, I think it was like $100 a day. And then they decreased that, which like if you're in LA at the LA State, like the convention center, you're not really like that's actually pretty hard to hit, if you're trying to get a decent meal in you. So you have to basically either eat fast food or you're not eating.
Yeah.
And then they decreased it further. I think it was like $50 a day when I left, and I was like, I can't do this. So we'd have to figure out how to get like $50 per person. Like that would be their whole meal for the day. And then we'd have to accidentally add like a bunch of PR people. Like that's how we'd have to get around it. And Fran would be so pissed. It's like, I can't tell I can't tell the higher ups that you guys spent all this much money on dinner. And I'm like, dude, we just had a record breaking E3 for us.
Yeah.
Most of that was video sales. We killed it. We got the live shows. This is like right around the time where we used to start doing the E3 live show with the big sets and the cranes and shit like that. And Fleming's was the place we would go. Me and Brennan loved Fleming's, and we would just at a certain point we did it just to piss Fran off. Because I was like, what are you gonna do? You gonna stick me with a $2,000 bill? Like,
you're not gonna do
that. And Fran was always like, well, fine, I'll figure it out. And he would figure it out because that's what you got to do. You got to go to bat for people sometimes. But that's why when we did our first big E3, because we went, we've gone the last like few years, but last year was the first time the whole team was down there, and like you guys were all down there. I was like, let's fucking do Fleming's.
Dude, it was incredible.
And we did it, and I've never felt so good about just dropping the card down.
Dude.
Oh, Andrew was lit, Tara, Bruno. Now, to be fair, it's possible that they were at a table before we were there.
No, they were.
And we were ordering them drinks when they were done with dinner. And then after that, I said, come over to the table and come drink with us more. Andrew was lit. Like a Christmas tree.
Tara put
God
something
bless her.
blue down in front of me. She's like, this is for you. I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, you
but
gotta go.
I'm not going to tell Tara that I'm not going to do their shot.
It's a meal that I knew how full I was.
Yeah.
And I knew that I shouldn't eat anything more. But everything was so fucking good, dude.
So good.
Like all the sides, there wasn't one thing there that I was like, this is fine. Everything was perfect. And I've just been dreaming about it.
Well, Andy, let me tell you something.
What's up?
What if I would tell you that we're going to a very similar place for a team dinner at RTX?
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
Oh, the RT. Are we going to that fish place?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So it's I don't even remember what it's called now, but it's like a steakhouse
dude,
and seafood.
you know what it is. It's like right on the
shrimp.
corner of
Really
right
good
by
shrimp.
Frank's. You know when you walk by the Frank hot dog place as you're walking. You know that.
It's like a nice place?
You know
Yeah.
you know where the VIP party is or
Yeah.
the RTX party.
Yeah.
In the catty corner to that, there's a place, the fish market. Then you walk in, all the waiters are wearing like white tuxedo jackets, like dinner jackets.
I've never been there. Wow.
Dude, we went last year and it was so fucking good. The service was excellent.
Oh, that's where y'all went when I went with my family.
yeah. You went off with your family.
That's what's so dope. My family not going to be there this year.
oh, fantastic.
So
You're gonna-
because for
they
the
can be
next
friends
week,
finally.
Well, you're also going to have to. Sorry, but I won't be there for KFAF
called
the
True
following
Lux.
week. True Lux. Never heard of it.
It's real good.
Oh,
My
I'll
Gia's
sub
friends
someone
used to
for
work
that.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the maybe we can film something in RTX.
We should film something at
Yeah.
RTX. That's the thing. Like we have all the people there. We should absolutely film something. We should start wrapping our heads around that now.
Are we taking camera equipment?
No, but I mean we could. We have no. I'm sure we could also borrow a camera from RT.
No, their camera's
It'd be
not.
cool if we.
Be like, just fucking give us a camera, bro.
What was I gonna say?
or we could actually maybe we can hire someone there because that'd be fun. Because that's the thing. The RTX and E3 are very distinctly different shows for us. Yeah. RTX, we get to go and be personalities.
Have
We
fun.
get to go have fun. The panels are not hard work. It's us fucking rebel rousing,
It's
like
not like
trying to
we're
invade
not
other people's
interviewing
panels.
Henry Winkler.
No, which was stressful.
And
because
neither
it
did
didn't
you.
happen. But what I'm saying is like E3, how dare you? How fucking dare you?
Baited
Why
into
do you
that one.
why do you bring this? Why do you bring up my biggest failure in
What was
front
I
of
gonna say?
everyone?
Yeah, so like my family always does this thing where it's like, oh, you're coming to Austin, let's drive up to Austin. We'll
See
stay at your
you.
aunt's house. You'll come over. It's gonna be this whole thing, but it's a pain in the ass for me. I love my family, but it's like I'm there as much fun as it is. I'm still there to work, right? And there are panels that I have to be at and places that I have to be. to do stuff for the
Dude,
convention.
trust me.
And having to look at the calendar and tell my mom and dad, all right, I have 2 hours at 11 a.m. from 11 a.m. to 1 on Saturday. And then Sunday I'm free from 3 to 4:45, like that.
Until I have to leave for the airport.
It fucking
Yeah.
sucks, dude, to have to like be doing all that crazy stuff. So this year, I told my mom, what if you drive up the Sunday, the final day of RTX, and when RTX is done, then I go with you, and then we drive all the way back home to the Rio Grande Valley where I can actually see all of my family, where my dad will be there, my nieces, my nephews, everybody, and I'll be there for about 3 days, and then you bring me back up to Austin, and I fly back to San Francisco.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So I had a very similar thing the first few times I went down to LA for E3. Is like that my parents would be just floating around LA, and I'm like that's
It's
so
so hard,
stressful.
dude.
Yeah.
Because my mom and my dad, like, they're great, but they're not. What the fuck are they gonna do for 10 hours in LA? Like, they're not.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in LA. And I've had other friends too that are like my buddy Ryan. I love him to death. We try to see each other every year at E3, but he goes there as for fun, and so it's so hard because I'm like, I can carve out a lunch with you here, and I have like an hour here. But then you just inevitably what happens is he ends up texting me like, hey, dude, I'm just going to go because your shit's going long. And so we'll grab lunch at Hooters or whatever it is. We like to do that because it's hilarious. Also, good pickle chips. Just throwing out there.
It's also
And the
kind
wings
of
got
a
better.
bummer because the majority of the family that we have up there that my parents stay with are in Round Rock, which is about 15 minutes north
Of Austin?
of Austin.
Oh, that's
yeah.
not bad.
With traffic, sometimes it could be 30 to 45, And so that sucks when knowing that like, oh, I can't just go down the street to go hang out with you guys. I have to make it a whole thing. We're going to your uncle's house. We're going to barbecue. And
And if you only have 2 hours and you hit traffic,
yeah,
and
it
like,
It's not
stresses me.
happening.
It
It's too
stresses me
stressful.
out like crazy.
No, you're doing the right thing. If you want to do a pro move, you got to do, you fly in. So, what was it, E3? E3, I stopped hanging out with my folks afterward because I was so tired. I was really just a mean asshole to them all the time. Because, you don't sleep for fucking 4 days.
Yeah.
And you get there, and then you got to put up with your parents. Like, I shouldn't say put up with your parents. You see your parents, but your parents take a certain amount of energy to, like, be around because, they're your parents. And
they're
you want to be.
expecting great Nick.
Yeah, they want happy Nick, and I'm tired Nick that needs a couple days to recover. So what I started doing was I would go beforehand. So like if it was like Comic-Con, I would go because Comic-Con happens like
July.
I think
mid-July?
but I think it's like Comic-Con's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Or no. For Comic-Con's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I would go a couple days early and hang out with them just like a day before we would set up, and then I would go set up the next day just because
Get
that
on the
would
train.
be well. Because then I'm like, hey, I've got energy and I'm excited about this trip, and that's cool. Or I'll try to sleep in the next day and go out there, and they can come down to San Diego because they're in Riverside. But I always feel so bad for my folks when I'm tired and hungover and I just want to not talk to people. That's the other thing too, is you've talked to people for 4 days straight and arguably the same conversation every single time.
Hey, how's your E3?
How's your E3 going? Great. What do you think Keanu Reeves and Cyberpunk? All right, awesome.
Playing anything good?
It's not playing anything good. Oh, I just came back from this day. Great. And then your mom's like, how was E3? I'm like, oh, I don't want to bore you with this. Like,
And especially if you that they don't really care.
they don't care. No, I mean, they care about your well-being, but
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves being in Cyberpunk is not going to blow my mom's skirt up.
Yeah. How'd she feel about Animal Crossing though?
I mean, she's a devout Stardew Valley
Wow.
follower.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
Is
know
she
if
really
that's-
excited about the new update?
She's super excited about that.
Wow.
No, so yeah, my goal this year for Comic-Con, I don't know what we're doing for Comic-Con yet. I love Comic-Con because it is everything that
Comic-Con's
Tim.
fun.
It's everything that Tim
I doubt we're
and
doing
y'all
it.
love about, like Tim and Greg love about E3, but it's stuff I actually care about. Not that I don't care about games because I do play games, but Comic-Con is like you see all the same people, but at Comic-Con, and we're talking about the movies or the trailers or the celebrities that we just saw. It's just a slightly different angle for me.
Like, bro, Swamp Thing canceled. Crazy.
And then there's nothing really to see at Comic-Con for us. We get paid to go do panels or show up and play. Like last year, Rocket League flew us down, which was freaking awesome. We got to hang out with Jeremy on that baseball field and we just invited
Petco?
all the community out, and people just came out and drank with us all day. Fuck yeah, that's great. And then, but Mark offered me potentially a spot on one of his shows this year. So I'm hoping to just go down for that.
That's cool.
And then if I could just go have my parents pick me up the day after and go sit by the pool with them.
Oh,
That's going to be
yeah.
real cool. The problem is I can never see my brother on these things because he's always fucking loading in sets.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he can tear away. We just do a
it's
barbecue at the
inevitable
folks' house.
that old Matt Scarpino is going to be wandering around
Oh my God.
the premises.
He was texting us all day yesterday, and I'm like, stop texting, but you're stressing people out with these texts.
Before I started working here, I went to, there was 1 year that I went to E3 and I went to Comic-Con.
As a civilian?
So I got a pass for E3 from TT Games because I really liked Lego games and they gave me one.
Yeah.
And then I went down to San Diego just to do, I always used to go down to Comic-Con and not have a badge and because there's so much shit that's going on.
You don't need to go in the show floor.
Yeah.
For Comic-Con. If you have friends, Comic-Con's about the parties.
They do bar crawls and all these theme things,
cool
and they'll
things
play
happening
movies with
everywhere,
live orchestras on the water.
yes.
It's super cool.
Could just try to, that's
But
the
I
fun part.
inevitably at one of these events would run into your brother at a party. Oh man.
Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah.
My brother, who is the only person I know that will wear his nice shorts to a party. God bless him.
But your brother always like
he dresses up.
if I noticed that your brother was at a party, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a fun night.
Oh, dude. if Matt Scarpino knows you and sees you and you recognize him, you're getting drunk that night.
Oh, yeah.
He and his crew like to party. And you know what? Deservedly so, because this is the thing that a lot of people
fucking
don't
hard.
fucking get is that you see the people, like, let's take a place like IGN, right? You see Damon, you see Brian on camera, you see those guys working their ass off, and it's hard. It's especially hard for them because they have to keep that energy level up the whole time. All the IGN crew used to work their fucking asses off. But what you don't see is the 5 or 6 people that had to load that set in the day before. And let's put it this way, Comic-Con, thanks, Koji. Comic-Con, for instance, when we used to load that set into the Hard Rock, it's not like they have giant fucking lift doors that go right into that, like a theater venue. Theater venues, usually the entire back of the theater will like roll up and you can just load shit in.
Yeah.
That's what's like, if you go to the Bill Graham, you can just load shit as a straight shot right to the actual stage. At the Hard Rock, it's a fucking ballroom. So you have to hump shit up the back freight elevator where they're trying to bring in, everyone's trying to do it. You have a time that you get scheduled. You show up, there's 5 other fucking trucks, you're double parked out there. You're trying to share the elevator with people who are delivering food because guess what? When you go up it, narrow little hallway, it goes right by the kitchen and like all these glassware everywhere. And you have to take every piece of scenic art or scenic stuff that you have through that hallway, through double doors, down another hallway, and that's where the venue is.
The idea of being double parked just stresses.
Oh, it's so. I forget what the actual terminology is for it, but you get a time that you're supposed to be there, and that's your load-in time. And it's like you get some sort of, the official term for it. But if you miss that, if your truck's late, you're fucked. Because there's other trucks that then you're going over their time and then everything gets backed up. And so it's annoying. So like the few times that I helped my brother load, and he runs a production company called Go Button, I loaded them into Comic-Con is some of the most stressful things. Granted, they're pros, so they make it a lot easier. But like, yeah, that shit starts, I think Comic-Con preview night is Wednesday, right?
I think so.
So this shit starts Tuesday would be the load in. Tuesday, Wednesday, the load in. And then we have to go live with rehearsals Wednesday night and then trying to get everyone there. It was a massive, massive endeavor. And then the editorial staff would come to help actually power the production and make sure that people show up. But it was a very, very exciting, fun thing to do because you'd be like, cool, everything's good. Who's our first person? Oh, it's the entire cast of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Okay, cool. And then Daniel Radcliffe walks in. He's like, hey, and you're like, oh, this is very exciting.
Yeah.
This is cool. He's a
D-Rad.
D-Rads, as we call him.
Dude.
But yeah, it takes a tremendous amount of effort to do all that stuff, which is why I'm glad this year it's not like we cut back. It's just, I think it's right that the people that want to go down for it, that makes sense, go down for it. Like you were thinking about going down, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, I just wanted to go down for one of the parties.
So was I. I was.
You guys totally, we should try to make that work for next year. If you want to just pop in for a night, because it is about networking.
I've
What?
asked for years to go.
To
Years.
E3?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Comic-Con. My bad.
We'll get to that.
No, yeah.
No, Comic-Con, it doesn't make any sense for all of us to go down. It's a
so
blast,
cool,
but
yeah.
we only go down if we have a gig down there that someone's going to help subsidize. Get us down because it's fucking expensive to stay in San Diego that day.
Yeah, and downtown.
It's a pain in the ass to get in and out of.
Yeah, LA's way easier. You can stay a little bit farther out.
Yeah,
and
they
Uber
bought
and
it out.
stuff like
And
that.
thankfully for Airbnb being a thing. And but you remember, dude, there used to be a time when I first started,
Uber.
because this would have been my 13th E3 if I had gone this year.
Wow.
I know. I'm glad I got a break. I'll take a little
Break
bit
the
of a break.
streak.
We'll see what happens next year. But when I first started, there was no Airbnb and no Uber.
So everyone's at hotels and taxis.
Everyone's at hotels, which is awesome. But taxis were fucking terrible because you couldn't get them. You have to walk to a hotel to get a taxi. You can't call a fucking taxi in LA. good luck.
Well, I even remember doing that when we were in Vancouver of like, they don't have Uber and there's some like marathon happening. And we're like, I hope we can find a taxi somewhere
Yes,
to
it
take
was
us to
the
the airport.
Vancouver Marathon.
Oh, yeah.
I believe from what I gleaned, a fairly big marathon, and yeah, we had to like. Thankfully, like they have the cab lines, but
Yeah.
man, these modern amenities, like when Airbnb became a thing, everyone's like, "Can we do?" And like that was when we were part of Fox, and they were like, "You guys can't do those. It's not in the Fox policy." And we're like, "If we can't stay at Airbnbs, we'll have to sleep on the fucking streets. There's no hotel rooms."
Yeah.
We used to have to book hotel rooms a year in advance. Like after E3 would end, we would log on the next day and try to book hotel rooms. And Fran would be like, "Wait, that's a little far in advance." We're like, "Are we not going to E3 next year?
Yeah.
Come on, let's book a block."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Sure.
the worst.
That reminds me of the on that Adam Ruins Everything show, talking about how I've mentioned this on this podcast before, but how Airbnb is becoming like kind of criminal, where these people are buying apartment rooms and they are renting out apartments or whatever, and then selling them as Airbnbs at a crazy amount, and they're making so much profit.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and you can't. It's so hard to crack down on it because of like
It's
you
very
just never know.
unregulated. Yeah.
Certain cities are really good about stopping that. Like I know in San Diego, my in-laws put up an Airbnb and immediately were hit up by the city being like, "Yo, you need a permit." They didn't know.
Wow.
Like they got the
Interesting.
permit, everything got sorted with them, but like certain cities like try to get on top of that right away.
Yeah,
I know
that's
San
good.
Francisco also, I believe it has rules against that too.
Yeah, because they mentioned just like how people are being priced out, and it's so hard for people to afford to live in these places anymore because
Yeah.
there's no availability, and the ones that are available are super fucking expensive.
Well, not only that, but the hotel industry is taking a big hit because of it. And I personally, I'm not a huge fan of Airbnbs just
I would
because I've
much
had
rather stay at a hotel.
Yeah, I've had some good experiences, but I've also had some incredibly negative experiences where you walk in and it's not clean.
Yeah.
It is just
It's
literally
warm, the AC's off.
AC's not working or whatever. Like when we were in New York, the fucking light in the bathroom was the bulb was burst. Like the bulb wasn't working rather. And so you and I had to we were like, well, I guess we could go buy a light bulb and change a fucking light bulb. But then we were so busy and so tired that we ended up just showering in the dark.
Yep.
We would take
Have my flashlight on my phone.
Andy and I would look because Andy showers at night. I see Andy come out, walk over to the bathroom and turn on his flashlight like he's a spelunker. He's like, "I'll see you in a little bit," and he just walks in and it's just like a light glowing out of there. I vastly prefer hotels because hotels have a specific standard, and if something goes wrong, you have someone you can call who will immediately try and make it right.
It's like apartment versus a homeowner or something like that. Like
Yeah, like
know,
you have a and that's the thing. Like
the onus isn't on you, and if it is on you, if you're like an Airbnb, the homeowners aren't just readily available.
No.
That isn't their main business. They don't have like an office nearby that they just sort of sit at. They're
not sitting downstairs.
Yeah, they're
waiting
homeowners
for,
too, and
yeah,
they're just
Well, and if they are,
fucked
it's
off.
weird.
or they're
Yeah,
on
that's
vacation.
worse. Yeah, most of the time they just go stay with a relative, I
Yeah.
would imagine. But that's the other problem too, is there's so many different small things you don't think about when you get an Airbnb. If you have an Airbnb with 5 people are staying at, guess how many keys you usually get? One.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
the worst.
when you're at LA and all 5 of us or 10 of us are at different parties, and one of us wants to come home early, it's like then you
worst.
gotta fucking coordinate and get the key and then leave the door open while you sleep. And we were in fucking like South Central last time.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not a good neighborhood to be in. That we can't leave our shit. We can't leave this door open because it does not feel like a safe neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that is the deal with that. Like I've more often than not have been like I've walked from Airbnbs before where
We've
I'm like
heard
I
the
walked in and
stories.
be like, nope, not staying here. This is a shithole and there's not
Yeah.
enough beds and there's like one room with 3 cots in it. I'm like, this is not a fucking 3-bedroom Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, some of it's just me being a little bit too bougie, but the first year we did E3, I was like, I can't. I
Was that
walked
the
in.
sex dungeon year?
No, that was the second year. That I almost walked from that, but I was like, this is gonna be too good of a story. I gotta stick around for this. But I mean, it's like that's a perfect example, right? We were in a sex dungeon, and you would think, hey, maybe put a light switch in that turns normal lights on. My room was blacklight the entire time. I almost had a fucking stroke.
It was so hard to go to the
was
restroom because
so-
it was just a red light.
We
Yeah.
had to put up our production lights.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. That was funny as hell.
No, the first year we rented Airbnbs that were very far away. Actually, I shouldn't say very far away. Just far enough away to be annoying
Yeah.
to the point where an Uber driver's like, really? Like I gotta fucking.
You're gonna make me drive
you gotta
all
make
the
that-
way over there.
So I mean, if it's LA, ideally you want your Airbnb or your hotel room to be within walking distance of the convention center because all the parties are kind of that area anyway.
Yeah.
But I walked in and it was like it said it was 3 beds, but it was literally a 1-bedroom apartment, and the doors just opened up to the living room, and so it had like French doors that would open up inside the apartment, and so there was like a bed that was the couch, and then another bed, and there was supposed to be 3 of us that slept in there, and I think it was supposed to be me, Kevin, and Tim snores like a fucking freight train,
And so do I.
and so does Kevin, and I'm like, I am not. This is not going to work.
You're
for
never
me.
gonna sleep. Yeah.
And then we had another bed. We had another one that we had rented that was 2 bedrooms with 2 beds, and I was like, I'm not going to sleep on a couch. So I eventually just ended up finding a cheap hotel that
I
was
slept
nearby.
on a couch.
And so Kevin slept on a couch, but you don't care. Like
Yeah,
that's the
that's
thing.
true.
If you did, I would be like, let's figure something else
No,
out.
you're
But-
right. You're right. I don't care.
Though I did figure out something by the time we got to Vancouver. They have Airbnb Plus now.
Yeah.
Which is like that has like a certain expectation of like amenities and location and stuff
It's
like
like
that.
an Uber Black or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
I
They
just-
were real like I saw both of them because we
Yeah.
dropped our stuff at one and then Barrett and I stayed at the other one. Real
I mean-
nice, super cute, really clean, great location. It was all code stuff, so we didn't have to juggle keys.
That's cool.
Like all that stuff was
That
great.
makes sense. Obviously, there's going to be growing pains with something like Uber or Airbnb where people are just figuring it out. But I just feel like it hasn't hit that level of quality yet that I can engage with how much we travel. Like
Yeah.
I need a hotel stay in there every once in a while. I need to be able to walk up to a concierge or call someone and be like, can I have a towel?
Yeah.
And have them do it. And then also hotels generally tend to be situated like centrally so you can walk out and like, it sounds silly, but I like, that hotel we stay at for RTX.
It's perfect.
It's great. Because it's
perfect.
right across the street from the fucking convention center. It's got a cafe
You're
and a restaurant
partying,
in
you're
it.
done, you're a block away.
We
you
also
go to the
tend to
elevator.
party there after everything's done. We go have
Shout
one
out
more
to that
cocktail at
hotel
the bar. Andrea makes them stay open because she's a fucking boss.
Orders just bottles of champagne.
That was my favorite story from last year. That's when
Yeah.
Andrew and I really bonded. We had known each other for years, but that was when I was like, "You're a fucking boss,
And
a
We
boss."
baited her into going to IHOP with promises.
Oh
of
yeah.
pizza.
Well, no. First off, I've still
So
never had
glad I
this
didn't
goddamn
go.
pizza place that you guys talk about.
Via 313.
Via 313.
We have
Oh.
to go.
Can we
We
please
tr-
get this?
Absolutely.
We tried to go
Joey,
and it
and I'm
was
not pointing any
closed.
fingers, but Joey's like, "Hey, I found one that's open. Let's Uber there." We Ubered there, and she put in the wrong one. And we
Okay,
got there,
who's
and
letting me be in charge of the Ubers after?
I was drunk. What do you want from
15
me?
Rooster Teeth parties.
Oh my god, I was hammered too. It's hot. You just want a nice little mojito or something
Dude,
tasty.
Yeah. A little margarita
it's
action.
fantastic, dude.
So we ended up we took Andrew to IHOP, and she was like, "I am not going to IHOP." Then we went to IHOP. She goes, "I am not ordering anything." Flash forward 30 minutes later, we are horking down this food. We are just destroying
the
this.
late night like IHOP or Denny's visit is
the
it's
best.
just such a
It's
magical
always
thing.
the best, dude.
Yeah.
When back in the day, we used to go there when I was like in high school. There was a local Denny's and a local Dairy Queen that we would just always hit up because it was late at night and we had nothing else to do and we were bored.
Yeah.
And we would go down to the Denny's and like we weren't like it wasn't a late night because we were drunk. We were just like late night bored.
It's
Yeah.
that weird like time frame when it's like you want to go out and do stuff, but
was
you're
like
not old enough to
10:30.
be at a bar.
Yeah, it was like at 10:30 to 1.
It's either like the 24-hour
Yeah.
Walmart or some weird 24-hour
We would
diner.
always go to the Denny's because it was after our theater performances. Like we had our drama plays or whatever, and we put on these big productions.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, all right, let's go out as a cast and crew. Let's go to Denny's
Yeah.
or whatever. Let's go party. Or
That was
not
when everyone
party,
had to
but
bring
just
cash because you'd have to like break it up.
yeah,
the
it
bills
was
and
Try and
stuff.
split the bill.
The worst, dude. Oh my god, like all right, I just all I got was tenders and a fucking Coke.
You're $7.43
Yeah.
to cover
Well,
my
don't
Why
forget
am I
tip.
paying
Don't forget tip.
$44?
Yeah, I know. That was always that. It's
The
so funny.
worst.
I think I remember thinking to myself, "Wow, I think I'm an adult now because I'd rather just split it evenly than having to worry about that."
I love that.
I maybe hit like 27, 28, and people were like, "Hey, so you owe?" I was like, "No, no, just y'all had more than me. I don't care. Just split it." Who
Because you know
cares?
that it ends up evening out
eventually. Maybe not that bill,
I mean,
but
that's the great
here's the
thing
thing
about
about
Venmo, man. This is so.
well, man, even then though it's like
Again, another app that makes things a little bit handier sometimes.
I get it if you're like, hey, we went to Denny's and I ordered mozzarella sticks and everyone had meals. But even then, it's like,
But
you know
even
what you're
then
getting
it's
yourself
Denny's.
into. It's a different thing if, like, when you go to a nice meal and people order like 10 cocktails and you're not drinking that night, maybe. But even then, it's like, I know I'm going to drink one of these nights.
Yeah,
so we'll just make it
exactly.
up. It doesn't matter. Speaking of which, I'm D and I are doing this like elimination diet again, and it's killing me. But it ends right at RTX, and man, I am so excited for VA313.
I'm excited for
those cocktails behind the stage, the Let's Play panel thing. If they're doing that again, are they doing
Yeah.
Let's Play live again?
They are. I don't know if we're
No,
doing
it's just Achievement Hunter
Oh,
Live.
it is just.
No, I'm going anyway.
Oh, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: we have to figure out what we're doing because we get in on 4th of July and we get in early because we
Well,
leave
let's
it like
immediately
8.
go to the pool and get hammered.
100%.
Okay.
Kevin, bring
Yeah, that's it.
fireworks.
Oof.
Can you do fireworks
Kevin, can
in
you
Texas?
sneak fireworks in?
Can we do? You can't.
No.
But Texas is supposed to be cool. And
Yeah,
all,
dude,
like,
I thought Texas is all about
explosive
guns and
they're not.
explosive shit.
stuff. Don't they love guns?
Oh, they love guns.
Yeah, they do.
Doesn't that directly correlate to loving
Fireworks are,
fireworks?
like,
Huh?
pretty-
Doesn't that directly correlate to loving fireworks?
Yeah, but I feel like the fireworks.
I mean, they love
General
fireworks. People
explosives?
illegally do them all the
yeah.
time.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like that's more of a safety issue because everything's so dry in Texas that you have to have
Oh, yeah.
harsher regulations. I feel like if you want to do real good fireworks, you go to like Seattle, where everything's
I
wet.
think you can do
You
that.
just blow things up.
No,
It
dude,
doesn't
people
matter.
still illegally
Atlanta
pop
goes
fireworks
ham
all
on
the time.
fireworks.
People
Oh.
still illegally pop all the time. There's always like, I remember growing up, there were always stories of, oh yeah, that place shut down. They shut that place down because they were illegally selling fireworks or whatever.
And you can't buy them in San Francisco, right?
Kevin,
No,
No.
you cannot.
I think
We
you
could
can.
go
Can
to
you
my
get them in
parents'
daily
house.
No.
outside of San Francisco County or no?
Last I heard, it's like an hour away. The only place.
Yeah, you can get them at my
real good
parents'
ones.
house. We used to set them off all the time.
That kind of makes sense though, because given the fact
So
that
close.
fires in San Francisco are really, really scary because everything is attached
Yeah.
to itself, I'm okay with that not being a thing. But if we land on 4th of July, I mean, I'm honestly,
When are we
chill.
landing? We're landing Thursday, right?
Yeah, but I
Because
think we
Friday
land
we
like-
have our signing morning.
But I
So
think
we-
we land at like there's
Our
only 2
flight
flights to
leaves at
Austin.
8.
I think we landed a relatively early hour.
I think
Yeah.
we land at like 1.
Good.
On Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's
1 or
cool.
2.
That's great.
I like that.
So
Do you think
yeah,
it's
that'll
gonna
be
a
nice.
lot, like, is it gonna be hard to go to the airport?
Go to the airport?
Like, I mean, get through security and shit.
Oh, on 4th of July?
Yeah.
Great question, actually. Probably not. Because you
I've
think like
never
everyone, who the fuck's
flown-
traveling on 4th of July?
I've flown on the 4th of July a couple of times and it hasn't been bad. And we have an 8 o'clock flight too. That's
Oh,
amazing.
using-
I thought you meant the drive, because the drive to the airport and back is not great.
It's Uber.
I'm using Nick time. Yeah, just Uber.
I mean, I'm not. That's what I mean. Like, I just
Oh,
mean
yeah,
like
just getting
time wise,
there,
it's
getting
all.
back.
It's not super.
What does
fun.
it take you like an hour to get there?
I feel like 45 to an hour because of traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Austin?
Yeah. The traffic can be wild depending on the day or whatever. That's the thing.
And
man,
I feel like everybody's going to be out on 4th of July. So I feel like, plus the convention, a lot of hustle and bustle.
yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun. I'm looking forward to
I'm
it.
very excited.
It's gonna be great.
Kevin, have you ever gone? You went that one year when I met you guys.
He's gone a couple times.
You
right?
went like you went in 2015.
I believe the only year I didn't go was last year.
Oh.
Did you go the year before?
I think so.
Well, I don't
I
remember
don't think
that.
I've ever been with you.
Really?
I don't think so.
I want to say I've gone to at least 2. Have
I don't think you went to this last year or the year before that.
I don't think so
you went.
either.
I thought Kevin and Paul. I thought Paula was there last
I
year.
think it was the year before.
No, Paula was there 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Are you going this
I
year?
think. Yeah, we're all going.
Everybody's
fun.
going.
Paula's coming,
Everybody's
too.
This is gonna be fun.
Dude, I honestly, if we can just get hammered and like hang out at the pool that first day, I'd really like that. I would love that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that
You didn't have
goes.
Pluckers yet?
Oh, pluckers.
Yes. No, I haven't yet. No, I haven't.
Okay.
But like, I'm down to. I also
There's-
would just like to be hammered in a pool.
Favorite wing
There's
joint.
the following has to happen. I will get via 313. I will get it. Frank has to happen.
Frank.
Frank, the hot dog place.
Oh, I
It's
don't
ever
gonna
been there?
happen. It always
Yeah,
happens.
I don't care about the hot dog place.
Oh, I love
Neither
that
do I.
place.
They have the like weird poutine there, right?
I love it.
The poutine is great.
No, they don't. The poutine is what it is, but the version of the poutine with the waffle fries and basically the
Fried chicken?
no, it's they do waffle fries with like a not corned beef sandwich, yeah, like corned beef on top of it. Oh my
Oh,
god,
like pastrami
and like
shit.
yeah, it's like pastrami and like sauerkraut. It's the fucking best thing I've ever had in my life, and like a cheese of some sort, mod on. It's so good. It's
I want
so good.
breakfast tacos.
And then we gotta do Don Julio's because
Oh,
that's
the
I've
just,
never
usual.
been there either.
the Don Julio's it's a tradition.
Every
They
year.
just serve you. It's always funny because we always drag someone with us.
We
who doesn't
ate
know
there
what's
before
happening.
the comedy night, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
because I
did.
remember being there before having to go do that comedy thing and just feeling super nervous. I'm
You
like, I
nervous?
should drink. I'm not nervous now.
You're not nervous now. Are you gonna get
You
nervous?
just got me nervous.
I'm so nervous right now.
It's gonna be fun.
Guys, you know what I'm nervous about?
There's so many people.
We don't
What's
have
that?
Aaron Porter.
We'll have someone else. Aaron's.
We'll find
I'm
someone
more
new
than
to
upward with
Let's
Aaron.
find someone new to love.
Yeah, we'll have a
Can
new
we
guardian.
have room in our heart for someone new?
Oh, of course.
Well, we'll put him through the ringer like we did Aaron. Where we
I
just,
still remember Charlotte, my RTX London helper. She was great, and like I feel like her and I mean obviously she's not Aaron Porter, but still she was cool and she was helpful.
I just.
We also
remembered.
had years of establishing a relationship
True,
with
yeah,
Aaron Porter.
true.
We'll make new friends. It'll be fine.
Aaron hooked it up when I had diarrhea that one time.
Did he?
Yeah.
He was jotting on the spot with the Purell.
What does that mean?
Think about it, Cam.
He caught it, Kevin.
I'm just thinking,
He just caught it.
Tampons.
No, he and Aaron
wife.
brought me Pepto Bismol to the hotel.
Did it help?
Oh yeah, it was great because Kevin, it was one of those nights where
I don't know if I want to hear
there's
this.
a lot of partying, and it's like I just want to go party, but I'm so scared that I'm gonna have to go to the restaurant all the time.
Boop, boop.
And then he brought Pepto, and it helped out, and I was hanging out and partying, and it was great.
Dude, that's
It was
the
a great
thing,
time.
man.
That was a night where Bethany took us up to her room. Well, her room wasn't even a room. It
It was
was
like a baller suite, right?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
This was like the biggest house I've been in.
I need to go. I didn't go that one. I think I was doing something else.
It was so dope, dude. It was like a 360 view. All this crazy like.
That's so cool.
What
That was
is
like
this?
the RT suite though that they had rented
Yeah.
for just so people could
For
have
the
like, a
events.
holding chill place before and after parties, right?
No, that was her staying
But
place.
that was just specifically
Yeah,
hers.
that was their.
Good for her.
Yeah.
That's nice that they do that. It's nice that they get people hotel rooms if they want them.
Yeah.
Like downtown, because getting back and forth there, I mean, it's just unsafe after a while because you have to take Ubers and shit. And you're drinking. It's just so much fun. There's
It's
nothing
so
quite
late.
like it's 80 degrees outside, maybe like 1 or 2 in the morning. You're a little hammered. You just walk back to your air conditioned hotel and plop the fuck
That's
down.
the best,
You don't
dude.
have to
Oh,
deal with an
so
Uber
good.
driver who doesn't know where he's going, even though you're like, aren't you from this town?
Yeah.
It's the best. That's my least favorite thing about San Francisco is when I'm drunk, every Uber driver is not from here, so they don't know where the fuck they're going. And you just see it. They pull up their phone, and you're like, dude, it's the easy. I'm like 10 blocks away. How do you not know? And they do a route, and you're like, that's not the right route. But I'm too drunk to argue with this
Yeah.
person. Like,
Just
don't
let
do
it
it that
happen.
way. Just all right. And then it's like,
And then you vomit.
yeah, oh God, it's the worst.
Did you totally off topic? You see what happened to Kevin Durant last night?
No.
So
Did he poop in his guardian's hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I agree to be on this show all the
I
time?
don't know. I have no idea.
No, so he was hurt, right? He's been hurt. He finally came back last night against the in Game 5 against the Raptors. This is do or die time for the Warriors.
Yeah.
They're down 3-1. He came back last night and he
Wow,
started
it's
off
rude that you
hot.
didn't even give us the theme song.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Anyway,
Oh, I thought we were doing.
sorts
Of
sports.
There it is. All sorts of sports with Andy.
He had kind of like messed up his calf. That's why he was missing for a long time. He
calf.
missed the whole Blazers series, and they didn't need him. They swept the Blazers. It was like 4-0 or whatever. And so he comes back today, Game 5 against the Raptors. They're down 3-1. It's like do or die. We need you back for this one. And he starts off hot, and it's like, oh shit, KD's back, And then he does this thing, Nick, where you can't really see it. Well, yeah, you can see my leg. He does this thing where he's dribbling up to the hoop, and then he backs up and puts pressure on the leg. And he's wearing leggings. You can see like he's wearing like kind of like these compression shorts
Sleeves,
or whatever.
yeah.
And you just see something in his calf, like boop, move.
Ooh, just pop.
And then he just immediately hit the ground, and he was just on the ground sitting there and was like, and it looks like it's a torn Achilles.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, torn Achilles.
That's a bad one, too.
Yeah,
That
it's a
takes
real bad
long
one, especially
time
for
to re-
someone like as tall as he is.
Yeah, that's a big Achilles.
And what's it called?
He already had surgery and everything, right?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Surgery?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You gotta like put it back together.
Oh, yeah. When that thing pops off, you got to put it back on. Otherwise,
So
it starts to
gross.
shrink,
So
which is
gross.
bad.
They have to take other tendons.
And then the Toronto fans were cheering when he was hurt. So it was kind of interesting because
I mean, I bet they're probably happy that they're one of the star players.
yeah,
is
but it's
not
like
in.
like
Bad form.
somebody gets hurt and nobody really knew what it was.
Bro, these are the finals.
But there was a lot of fans in Toronto, like, and there was one guy like waving at him like later, and shit, and then a couple of the Raptors players were looking at the crowd like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, shut up! Why are you cheering?" And it was a really cool like moment of sportsmanship where there was a lot of the Raptors players telling the crowd like, stop cheering. What are you doing? You
That's
know?
good.
And then
That's really
eventually,
good.
as he walked off, they did like
They did the clap.
They did the
Yeah,
clap,
did the
you
clap.
know. But it was, you know, it was really scary there for a
I
second.
get it. People are very, very hardcore about their teams.
But it goes against what happened in this Jimmy Kimmel interview where they were interviewing Toronto fans and they were like, all right, you're a Toronto Raptors fan, talk smack about the Warriors. And they'd be like, nope, that's not what we do here.
Oh, I liked that.
Again, it was
They're
just like-
Canadians, man.
I saw that headline pop up on YouTube where it was like, can Canadians talk smack? Or whatever it was. And I was
There's
like,
a lot
oh,
of
this is
people
a
like,
good one.
no, I mean, you know, good luck to them. I don't want them to win, but, you know, best of luck to them. Like,
I went down a rabbit hole with one of those variety like clips on YouTube where they get James McAvoy, Sophie Turner, and Michael Fassbender to explain slang from the places they're from.
that's the best.
And I was like, I'll just click. I watched the whole thing. It was so silly.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were trying to figure out whose it was. Because I guess McAvoy's from Ireland. I think Fassbender's Scottish, and then Sophie Turner is English. And so they were trying to figure out what was what. And I was like, some of these are weird as hell. But it was pretty funny.
I forgot who else had one. Oh, my gosh. But, yeah, I watched the whole thing. Oh gosh. From
It was
Once
Margot
Upon a Time-
Robbie
Margot
had-
Robbie, yeah.
yeah.
Once Upon a Time.
Where's
in,
she from?
No.
She's Australian.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
What's the Hollywood movie called?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I was going to say Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
There is a movie called Once Upon a Time in
different
Mexico.
movie. Different
Great
movie. But yeah, she's Australian, and she had like a lot of different sort of slang that was like, what the fuck is that? You
Yeah.
call it that? Like, very shocking stuff.
Speaking of shocking stuff, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break to tell you about our sponsors. And we're back. Actually, I need to go to the bathroom. Do you guys want to take a break for a second, or do you
Yeah.
want to just keep talking?
You can take a break.
Cool.
take a
I'll be right
break.
back. I'll be right back.
You can take a break.
We're gonna have to edit this out.
Are we?
Yeah.
No, we'll just
That's right, for the Patreon.
For
We
the
can just keep
Patreon.
talking for the Patreon
Yeah,
people.
just
keep talking for the Patreon people.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I scraped my knee and it kind of hurts.
Oh,
Really?
Kevin, come
From
show
the
us.
fall?
No, you can't. See. It's just a little pink.
sweaty.
Yeah, I'm sweaty as
It's
fuck.
just a little pink.
And I'm
It's,
wearing
it's
this
not
light
that it
gray
hurts.
shirt.
It just feels like the skin is a little raw, and I keep touching it.
Don't
Why do you
look
keep
at me.
touching it? I'm so glad I can't see Kevin.
Yeah,
from here.
you should be glad. You should be glad. It's 87. Fuck, I thought it was only gonna be like 78 today or something.
Honestly,
that was
I
what
feel
it
like
was
the
supposed
weather right now, fantastic. I could be
It's
okay
so
with
hot
this.
over
yeah, you're
here.
near a window.
Guys, 100%. Look, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just saying I'm pretty okay with this
And
right now.
tomorrow, apparently, high is 69.
So I know that Greg and Tim are gone. Are we gonna do fun things without them, or are we just gonna go home and
No,
sleep?
we're gonna
No,
go
we're gonna
home.
go and sleep. What are you talking about? I'm already planning, like, okay, tomorrow we do KFAF. And what's after that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't think I'm gonna.
I'm gonna
Maybe
go
we
and
just
get
move
my-
party mode to tomorrow
No, don't do that.
until Thursday.
Why?
Because I want to go get my phone fixed. Remember I
Oh,
made
sure.
that whole plan.
Okay. Well, then
Okay,
I'll
but
just.
if you move it to tomorrow, then I can just not come in at all on Thursday. And then we
Wait,
can go to
are
the
you
movies.
on party modes?
Maybe, I don't know.
I
When
don't
was last
know.
time?
I don't know what we're
think so,
playing.
yeah.
Oh, then never mind.
I don't know what we're playing.
Yeah, I let's
We'll think about it. We'll talk about it.
talk about it. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Because I really want to get my phone fixed, and I'm finally like, tomorrow I have it free. I can drive all the way down to San Jose where there's no traffic. And
You're getting your phone fixed in San Jose?
I wish I could go somewhere else, but it is the Pixel 3 XL has a super complicated way to like fix it, and none of the local places do it. Otherwise, I would have done it right away.
I feel like you can do it.
No, it is really, really complicated. I've
You know
looked
how to
into it
solder.
heavily. I do not want to.
You made a bed frame, dude.
I haven't finished it. I used to actually change like anytime my phone would get cracked, and this was, it would usually happen about a year and a half to having the phones, and I'd replace it myself.
How annoying is that where your family knows you have these abilities?
It is.
You're the guy.
It
You're the
is annoying.
designated dude.
Well, the thing is, most of my family doesn't care about they don't care about their technology. So, like, my sister has had a cracked phone for like years, and it's
Okay.
I want to say she had a Galaxy like 6 or something, like super old, and it's like, oh, that's easy to fix, but I'm not telling her. She doesn't care, so she's not looking for that.
Well, I mean less of like just fixing stuff, but also just being like the tech dude. There's nothing worse than
like,
like.
do they call you when the internet's out? Kevin,
my
what do I
gosh.
do?
Kevin loves that though. Kevin loves to be the guy everyone relies on for all that tech stuff
feel
because
like you
he
do.
likes the tech stuff.
I mean,
Kevin loves helping people.
Well, no, but I feel like here's a couple of things, and I don't mean this in a negative way, Kevin. So I'm going to say this as positively as possible because I mean this in a good way. This is one of the things we like about you is that Kevin legitimately loves tech. He just loves tech, and so he likes to be the guy that people.
How could I take that badly?
Because I just wanted to preface because sometimes I start talking
Because there's
and then
always a
you
but.
give me the look like when's he gonna talk shit to me? When's he gonna fucking say?
Kevin, you have 2 cars.
Yeah, the motherfucker had 3 cars. All right, but Kevin loves tech, and so it's nice to have people rely on him for that.
Yeah.
Kevin
know?
got so excited the other day when I had Linus Tech Tips running on my laptop after one of the conferences,
It's a good
and then
show.
was really
Good show.
Is it
disappointed.
because I mentioned his name?
I don't know. It just was like the next autoplay video.
Oh, okay,
And
gotcha.
Kevin was really disappointed that I didn't.
Because we
personally
were
select it.
because they were showing off Doom Eternal.
How did that look, by the way?
That looks fantastic.
Yeah,
It looks
is
so
that
good.
is that a brand new Doom or is it like an
Yeah,
upres
brand new
version
Doom,
of something?
brand new Doom.
It's funny I couldn't get into the last one.
What?
It was too arcadey, as opposed to Rage 2, which I think is a nice mix of like open worlds and like exploration and leveling up. I got into that first Doom and I was like, oh man, this is a little too straightforward for me. Maybe I'll go back to it.
I think if you played it now, you would be totally into it because it just feels way better than it does what Rage 2 does, but just way better. I think.
You know what I picked up?
What?
God of War.
Whoa!
Pick that back up, yeah.
No
Where are you?
Just pick, you know what's funny? I got to a point, I don't know where the fuck I was mentally when I was playing that game the first time, but I was like, oh, this shit's hard. And then you all were like, drop the difficulty level down. And I was like, I'm playing on fucking medium. There was like 5 difficulty levels. I'm playing on 3. There's no way that I could. Anyway, put it away for a long time. Came back to it, beat that level immediately, and just started going on. And I'm like, oh, this is
You're
cool.
a gamer now, dude.
Oh, a huge gamer.
gosh.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've been a gamer for years. But so I think I think that's my next game that I'm gonna play through. I just have to remember how the actual mechanics of fighting work because you get knocked back and I'm like, I know I can do something here, but I can't remember what.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'll
There's
Google
always
it.
the learning curve when you jump back in.
Well, that's always the hard part with like shooters are a little bit easier because they tend to be the same controls, but like with Rage 2, like you've got all your specials, like your abilities, and just remembering how to use those, I can tell is going to be really hard when I jump back into like Rage 3 whenever it comes out 3 or 4 years from now. But yeah, the God of War with a
Well, they announced more expansion stuff.
for Rage?
Rage 2,
Oh
yeah.
fuck yeah, doggy dog.
Yeah, they announced
in.
like more places and a new race of bad guys, like sort of a new group that you can fight that are
Very cool.
like
Oh,
I
I'm
think
in.
they're cannibals or some shit like
I'm
that.
fucking in.
Yeah.
I need more because I literally finished the game. And when you've leveled up so far, you're like, it's just fun to be in here. And then you kind of get bored. And then you kind of go, oh, I'm not going to do the racing stuff. It's just, I don't like the racing
Doesn't
stuff.
happen
And
to
then
me.
you get to a
Yeah.
point, you're like, I'm going to do the racing stuff because I got nothing else to do. I took down all the convoys. I'm like, I've done everything. I was like, I'm not going to find the grav dart gun. I found the fucking grav dart gun. Because you just, I put all that time into it. I got to go kill people with these things now.
Sure.
But yeah, so God of War, I think, is the next one I'm going to pick back up. Y'all got me.
I'm excited for you.
You guys got me enthusiastic about it because I want to play it and then I want to go watch that documentary. That's
Oh,
what
you
I
gotta
think.
watch the doc, dude.
Oh, speaking of docs, Nick Way, you guys didn't come out on. You came out on Friday, right?
I didn't.
Did.
You were
I
not. Kevin was there. Thanks for coming out. That was really fun.
It was super fun.
It was really cool.
That was really cool. So for those of you that don't know, last Friday was our, I want to say, second to last screening of Waiting for the Punchline publicly. I think we got another smaller screening coming up later this month in SF that I haven't finalized yet, but I think it's going to be at Mutiny Radio, which is this cool, like, crazy fucking radio station in the Mission.
It was
Is
in
that the
video?
thing that's in the doc?
Yeah, it's in the doc. So Pam reached out, who runs Mutiny Radio, and was like, "Hey, if you want to screen this here, we have an opening on June 28th, I believe. So I'm going to see if that works out. As of right now, we're planning it, but it's very, very
Do
small.
they have a theater?
No, they'll just project it onto the wall.
Oh, cool.
That's dope.
It's Mutiny Radio, and then like we'll do a show either before or afterward. It's all on the radio, so it's all gonna like stream, which is super crazy and weird and fun.
Will the older woman in the doc be there?
No, I have not seen her since.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I know that was fun. But
That's sad. That's really
but for
sad.
people who don't know, we got into SF Doc Fest, which is a part of Indie Fest, and I was able to do a little bit of a show beforehand for about 30 or 40 people. I think it was like 30 people were there. And there would have been more, but they didn't know we were in the back room because I forgot to tell people.
Yeah.
And then we screened it, and I think it went a lot better than Montana.
Really?
People laughed. People were drunk. It was great. That's how comedy should be. Montana was the worst. It was a great film festival, and the people that run it are amazing, but it was the worst environment for comedy that I've ever seen. It's fucking freezing outside. Everyone's tired from just dealing with the cold. There's no cocktails. You're not. There's a reason why there's a 2-drink minimum.
Prohibition in Montana?
Pretty
Oh my
much,
gosh.
yeah.
Wow.
Except weeds everywhere. Was weed everywhere? Maybe I'm thinking Colorado.
We
There's-
definitely think Colorado.
Yeah, definitely. There's a reason why there's a 2-drink minimum at most clubs. One, because the club wants to actually make money. But two, and more importantly for the comedians, is that if you get your 2 drinks first, you get a little sloshed beforehand, and you're just a little bit more loose when the comedy comes. I'm not saying it makes me funnier, but it makes me a lot funnier if you're hammered.
No, I don't think it makes you funnier. It makes them more willing to laugh.
Yeah.
You know?
You're more susceptible to the humor, and you're more open to it, because if I say something that might be potentially triggering for you, and you've had a couple cocktails, your subconscious is more willing to let that slide. Like, oh, Nick's talking about that, whatever. This is fucking fun. I'm having a great time. So that was, I think, one of the benefits of the SF show was that a bunch of people in there had already had a couple cocktails, and then of course it's just we're in SF. You're sitting in the theater that's featured in the documentary. You see me. The very first shot is me walking underneath the lights of the Roxy Theater. It's a cool historic theater and in the Mission, and we did a show 2 blocks down or half a block down at Delirium, which was also in the doc. It was a super fun night. It was a very fun night to me. So I didn't want to let that go and get lost in all the E3 stuff. I want to say thanks to you guys and to everyone that came out, because that was a really, really nice, sort of icing on the cake that has been this really, really cool project to be a part of.
Crushed it.
I had a lot of stuff going on that night, Nick.
What food did you order on Postmates? Are you playing Apex? You streaming Apex, you fucker?
Ordering volcano curry.
I saw something on the subreddit the other day today that kind of made me smile a lot. You know, Greg did this whole EA Play thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I killed
it. Shroud, one of the biggest streamers ever.
I've heard of him.
Right?
Yeah.
Was reacting along to doing a watch along of the EA Play. And
does EA make Apex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But he was also, they were also showing off Jedi Fallen Order and everything.
Sure, but I just
The
assumed
Sims.
that.
Yeah, it was so cool. I know, granted, Shroud has worked with Greg before. He worked with him at the Walking Dead thing.
I think you also, if I'm not mistaken, Shroud, we've worked with Shroud's wife as well.
No, that's
Ninja's
Ninja's
wife.
Ninja's wife.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
It was so cool to see people in chat say like, "Oh, cringe," or "Oh, this fucking host sucks," and Shroud being like, "What are you talking about? Like, this host is running the show and he's kicking ass." Like, it was so cool to see like kind of funny get recognized on that level because of EA Play was kind of a big deal, and they're showing off brand new Star Wars footage.
I told Greg to steal that LED screen, but he never listens to me. I was like, put that shit in your fucking pocket, bro, because that whole set looks amazing.
Imagine if you had the PIM particles.
Yeah,
Oh my
just shrink
gosh.
it.
What would
Bring it back with you?
before we, I don't want to go into these crazy hypotheticals, because I just want to continue talking about how cool it was to be recognized by Shroud. What's up?
Yeah.
It's so hard to take notes for this show.
Let's go back to talking about.
But anyway, so people, were that they cut to later on after the press conference when the press conference was about to end, and he was like reading chat. He's like, "What are you talking about? The host is bad." He's like, clearly these two guys, like, and it was Stig and
what's his name?
yeah, fucking.
We get it.
I can't remember his name.
Can't either.
From where?
Figure it out.
From EA Plays?
I can see his face.
Yeah, I could see his goddamn play. Vince Zampella.
There we go.
So it was Stig and Zampella, on stage. And he was like, clearly, these two guys can't really talk a whole lot about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order because there's a lot of shit that can't be answered.
Right.
He was like, but like Greg is carrying the show. Like he's kicking ass. Like you guys are idiots for thinking he's a bad host or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like super cool to see that
And he
recognition.
opens even before chat is like talking shit of like Greg Miller owns. Like, yeah, he does. Thanks, Shroud.
Yeah,
Super cool.
the thing about Greg that a lot of people don't understand. I mean, say what you will about him. He's a monster.
He sucks.
Greg
He
sucks.
fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You could have gone positive on this.
Just the absolute worst. It makes most of our lives a living hell. But he is a phenomenal host. He is phenomenal at what he does, to the point where, I don't know too many other people that can do that in this industry on that level. In fact, there's only a handful of them, and most of them work with us. Like Andrea's a phenomenal host as well. I would put her on the same level. There's that Carboni guy that I see every once in a while, but
So cool.
fuck, his hair's like peppery now.
Oh,
it's
really?
getting gray. Yeah, I watched the Star Wars
looks
show for the first
cooler?
time. I was like, God, man, damn, you look so fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's hard though. It's hard to make that look easy. Like it took me a long time to be able to host a podcast and have the confidence to actually like helm a podcast and get us in and out of ad rates and things like that. That's stressful enough. Think about that with actual people watching. Like that would be scary. And not only watching, but they're watching live.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like
So
not only are you
watching,
yeah,
and
you've
there's
got
people there too.
You know,
Yeah.
when they hosted the Final Fantasy thing, when Tim and Greg hosted Final Fantasy, that fucking auditorium was packed.
Yeah.
It was the
I was
Dorothy
there, man.
Chandler Pavilion. It's like 3,000 seats in that thing. That's not easy. Especially like, it's easier, I think, to go up there with nothing to say and just screw around and play a game than it is to actually have to hit beats and actually have to drive something forward. And then you got someone in your ear going, okay, wrap it up in 30 seconds. And you have to throw to whatever sponsored message you might have. Like that shit it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and it is a skill that you have to train for a long period of time. So kudos to Greg for that,
Yeah.
and to Tim, because Tim's pretty good at it too. But yeah, that's awesome. So Shroud basically knows who we are and is a huge fan of us. Is what I'm taking away from this.
Giant fan. Huge
Watches
fan.
everything. Loves
Greg
KFA.
How do we
Loves
get
KFA, yeah.
How do we get Shroud to push like
To
a
do We
third
Have
of his
Cool Friends?
audience to one of our live streams?
That'd be really cool.
That'd be dope.
That'd
Like
be
when we're
really
streaming
cool.
KFAF. Just what do they call that? When you
Rated?
rate it. Yeah, when you rate someone's
Oh,
stream.
right.
How do we get him to consistently rate our stuff on Twitch? Would that
I
be
mean,
cool?
I don't know.
I think we have to start by like playing games.
Oh, Joey, that's already too hard.
I know.
We're already saying. Well, Andy used to Twitch stream, right? Sometimes at night.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be homies with this guy. He sounds like a pretty cool guy. He's
Well, I
one of
mean,
the
Greg's
top
already
Twitch-
mentioned like I want to try to get him on We Have Cool Friends.
That'd be
really
huge.
so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really good. That's obviously the power of that show is that, people, we've heard you. Everyone wants just the shenanigans for this show. But we have cool friends. I'm interested to see how many people we can pull for that. Because we came out of the gate pretty strong.
I think
with
it'd be one
Devin.
of those things where Greg has to go over there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
he in
Who
LA?
cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We can go to the Shroud House or
Shroud just
whatever it is.
seems like very much
Shroud
like Jake.
House?
Doesn't he live in one of those houses?
He sounds like
Oh, Jake Johnson.
he's very much like Jake Johnson from what I've seen of just like
I'm
all
just
I do
home.
is wake up and I play games and that's it. Like I don't really.
He was at Shroud's at E3 today, so he like leaves his house.
Yeah, it's like
on
a paid.
occasion.
It's probably a paid opportunity or something like that.
Andy's
Maybe.
never gonna be your friend now.
No, but I get it. Look I obviously get it. I probably could have pushed to go to E3, and I was like, "Is there a real good reason for me to be there?" No, I'm not leaving my fucking house.
Did you,
You
not
get-
actively push to not go?
Some would say that might be how history went. Where I was like, I just don't want to
Who
go.
can say?
But no, I totally understand. I sympathize with guys like that because, like, I mean, think about this: he probably streams every day.
Yeah.
Right. Does he live in one of those cool 100 Thief houses?
No, he lives in his own like giant mansion.
He's not a part of that team.
There's
No.
a no.
That's Courage.
No, he's his own. He's his own entity.
Yeah, we'll just go to his mansion and set
I
up
don't
some
think he's
mics
even
and
signed to a team, huh?
That'd be good.
Or
He doesn't
a
need it.
org.
He's not with an orc.
I wouldn't. If I was like, I wouldn't be competitive in anything if I was making that much money. Just do my own thing. Hell yeah.
And I guess like for every day you're not streaming because you're traveling or going somewhere else, you're not making money. So.
Yeah, they'd have to
And
pay you.
and you're also just losing that sub count. You're losing that
Yeah,
audience.
for him, I think it's
Fredo's always mentioned this before, where he, the life of a full time streamer can be scary because you're risking losing audience. You're risking. I'm going to my parents for a week. What is that going to do to my sub count? I'm going to lose out. This is my income. This is my income.
That's everything, though. That's why. I mean, that's a real life thing that we deal with every day, right? There's the reason. I mean, all kidding aside, part of the reason I did stay back was because we wanted to do the regular shows that we do in the morning. I enjoy doing them. I love doing KFAF. I love doing Internet Explorers, and me and Kevin have a blast on Screencast. I'm sure you'll join this week because we'll rope you into that. But that's the thing. Like, if we didn't, we would have lost out on a week's worth of revenue for that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a reality of the trade, is that you always have to always be producing content, right? ABCs. Always be making content.
Always be coming.
Always be contenting.
Always be coming.
Always be coming onto your YouTube channel. Come on to my YouTube channel. No, but we should brainstorm people we want for We Have Cool Friends. Because I did
I
already.
have.
I did, but like, I don't feel good about my list. I don't think I shot
I
high
brainstormed a
enough.
lot of people for other people to interview.
Did you?
I did.
Who did you brainstorm for me to interview?
So one of my dream guests or pair of guests to have on is the girls from My Favorite Murder.
Oh, yeah.
That podcast.
That would be really
And Karen's
cool.
whole thing, she's a stand-up comic. That's like her whole background.
Yeah.
So I think that you would be really good on that to like ask her about that side of things.
Oh, I would love that. I love talking to anyone that's a comic that also does podcasts. Because there's so much crossover in what we do. Obviously, me trying to be a comic, but like people who are real comics who actually like tour and have followings and can
Yeah.
pack out rooms. I'm so jealous of that. I think it's so fucking cool. Yeah. That's my goal one day, is to be able to get 100 people in any room in any city once or twice on the weekend. Like, I want to get that big. I think that'd be so fucking cool. Because it's like, it's just so like, even just the difference of, because I did Sacramento Laughs Unlimited on
What?
Thursday.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was really fun. And it's really fun because I walked in, there was no one there. First 5 people I saw were best friends.
Oh, nice.
And they were awesome. There's
Shout out to
a couple of
Zach
them are on my
best
Instagram if you guys want to see them.
I do want to see them.
It was super fun. And then, lo and behold, 10 minutes before showtime, I peek out and there's like 150 people in the audience.
Oh, hey.
And 150 people in a comedy audience, in a comedy club, are there to fucking party. They came out on a Thursday night. They're there to have a good time. And they were what we like to call wet. This audience was wanting it.
Whoa.
And it was fun. Now, they were just a very lively audience. It was very, very fun. But that's the difference. Like, anytime you can do that, with people coming out to see you, it's more fun.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to work for the audience. You don't have to prove to them that you're worth their time. Like tomorrow's Cobb show, I'm sure we'll have a few people out, but the majority of the audience is not going to know who the fuck I am. And it's going to be an uphill fight the entire time. And that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. At least Cobb's, though, is like a comedy club, so people know what they're signing up for.
Yeah, they
versus
know
I
what
feel
they're
like a lot of the
getting into.
showcases, it's a lot of people that are just at a bar and don't necessarily know that comedy's happening.
So,
right?
exactly. Most of the time, like Delirium, that's what it is. We were at that bar. It was so cool, but there was the freaking Warrior game.
It was packed.
Finals game, like fucking 4 was happening that night. And so they put us in the back room. We had like 30 people in the back room. There's like 40 people, 50 people in the bar. And they couldn't give a shit about stand-up comedy. I tried to get them to come back. They're like, I'm watching the fucking Warriors game. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's pretty
See,
important.
my least favorite type of comedy is what I call surprise comedy. Hey, surprise, there's comedy. I'm going to start making fun of you, sir, because you're the only person sitting in the bar. Who else did you have for us to interview?
So my like big ask that I think would be really fun, and I don't know how we can figure this out, but I want to have us collab with the Try Guys, who are out of BuzzFeed, because I feel like there's really good, like, I think it'd be fun to match you guys up with one of them and do one-on-one interviews of like Greg and Keith are very similar, and
It would
like
be
have
fun.
them go back and forth and split you all up like that,
Oh, I'd
or
love
do
that.
some collab stuff. They like, most of them like gaming stuff, so I feel like we have that in common.
I feel like that'd be a fun one for a crossover.
Yeah.
Where they send us one of their guys and we send them Andy. And then Andy has to like do stuff that he hates doing, like try
mac and cheese.
Be in a
mac
room
and
with a cat.
Be in a room, rub a cat on your face and see what happens. Just shit like that. They're not the Try Guys aren't the guys that do the trick shots, right? That's what
Dude
is it?
Perfect.
Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Try Guys are the guys that just go out and do shit,
try
right?
stuff.
Yeah. That's a great.
Yeah,
what a
they
fucking
came out of
life.
BuzzFeed.
Me
What
and
a life
Brian
those guys
Riley
made.
Yeah.
from Rooster Teeth wanted to make our own version of Dude Perfect called Flawless Fella.
A little bit of a rip
What
off
a
there.
rip, man.
Yeah, and it was just, but then Achievement Hunters fucking doing the same shit me and Brian were doing 3 years ago, throwing balls off the wall into hoops and shit. Like, we fucking started that. I was
You
I'm-
did
I'm-
not start that.
Cheerball.
They're gonna be
right?
hearing from my fucking lawyers.
Kevin, prepare the cease and
this-
desist.
I got it written.
This came before Chairball. Yeah, and I have like all these videos of like.
When are we going to play chairball on KFAF?
You threw out the chair.
Oh, we did
I
because we
still
kept
have-
digging into the wall.
I still have some at my house.
We could do it right here.
Let's do it at Joey's house.
Set up a chair right here.
Oh, my apartment is so small.
That'll be the joke.
My apartment is so small.
We'll get 20 people over. That'll be the fun. That'll be the fun of
My
it.
apartment with its furniture is probably like the back half of this room.
Speaking of small,
Where are you going with this?
Anyway.
no, I was going to mention
Anyway's
the
great.
topic earlier. Like, if you had the power of the Pym particles,
Pin particle power.
Mm-hmm.
and you could only make one thing super, super, super fucking tiny, for like portability's sake, right, or for whatever sake, what would you make it? What would it
really
be?
small.
But you can make it small whenever you wanted.
Yeah,
My car. I'd never have to worry about parking again.
yeah.
that'd
I
be
was
Put that
cool.
bitch in my pocket.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to go with car in San Francisco. Because then I mean, I think I pay an extra $300 a month for a parking spot. If I could just take my car into the apartment with me, that'd be dope. And then you do that cool thing where you throw it out and shoot it. And as it lands, it goes big, like they did
that's
it,
cool.
like they did in Ant-Man 2.
Yeah.
That was real fun.
It's got to be real bad for the like suspension and
Yeah, you
the
might want to
shocks.
that's a good point.
Yeah,
You put it
just
on the
place
ground.
it
You
down.
want to place it down.
yeah,
definitely.
don't want to toss it and like land upside down or something like that.
I feel like practicality speaking, you either got to go with car or like a big suitcase. Because think about how much money you'd save,
Oh, that's great.
like not having to
Wow, that's
deal with
really
anything,
smart.
right? Take all your shit, but do a suitcase the size of this table, right? Put it all in there, shrink it down to something, put it in your pocket. Good luck, Mr. X-Ray Man. Try getting that fucking minute detail. What's up, Barrett?
You just woke up from a nap or what?
Hold on. Is your mic? Are you using the mic?
Yeah, he's using the mic. Get that shock mic on.
Is it up?
Yep.
Not for portability's sake, but I feel like this would, someone who's in power to shrink them down, they would lose all of their following because no one wants to follow someone who's really tiny.
Yeah.
Would be Donald Trump.
That's fair, but here's the thing.
Then you have to deal with
We
a tiny
love
Donald Trump.
things that are small and cute, and a tiny Trump might be too cute. For, you know what I mean?
No.
Like think about a Trump this big, you could toss his little hair.
No, I'm not
mean,
talking about like that big.
You're
I'm
talking
talking
about,
about like tiny.
Oh,
like
tiny
you'd have
Trump?
to get like a tiny camera for him to
Yeah.
do a press conference, and no one would take him seriously.
Microscopic
Yeah,
cameras.
but then people
Well,
would
take him
feel bad about it, and his base would just radicalize, and they'd be like, "They shrunk him down.
Yeah.
They took a job.
I would
They
want.
took him down."
Yeah,
I was in the
would
South
want
Park there, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my God! Speaking of which,
Stop
Sorry.
switching topics.
It
I want to
doesn't
finish
matter.
it first. I would like it to shrink down a little dog or maybe a raccoon so I could always have a little pet. That would be really
Joey,
cool.
you're thinking too small. Or
Pig.
little tiger.
little elephants.
Little elf.
Little
No, yeah,
elf.
little
but I would
giraffes.
I would
A
just
little
want to leave
giraffe
them
would be
little
cool.
all the time.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
fun, but that's,
whole
that's
little,
an
like,
option.
Like maybe I just want like a whole little mini.
Yeah,
zoo
They're
in
not
my
going to know the
pocket.
difference. Animals are dumb. You're going to keep it as a pet and feed it anyway. It's not
Or
going to need to
maybe a
hunt.
bed, so I could just like sleep anywhere.
Yeah,
take a
I was,
little
Oh,
nap.
take
I was
your bed.
thinking of the same thing. I was thinking like, you know, I love my queen size, but it's just like
It takes up a lot of room.
it takes up a lot of room in my you know smaller ass room. So I'd maybe
But the thing is, you got to make it bigger and put it somewhere, you know? So you're going to have to eventually make it bigger to sleep in your room.
yeah, but
But
then
if you have it, I guess, in the middle, it's not a big deal.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Um,
I
would you
guess
ever
maybe
get one of those like flippy uppy Murphy beds?
I would love one of those. One of my favorite things to do, Kevin, and maybe you could look
yeah.
this up while we're talking.
Breakdance.
All right.
Maybe we could look this up while we're
Do we need to
talking.
clear the table?
Is this a pin particle thing?
Looking up all of the, it's not pin particle related,
Fuck you.
but looking up really cool Swedish transforming, is that the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Transforming furniture.
Yeah.
Where it is like Murphy bed style. It is
Do you
like
watch the YouTube videos?
desks popping out of walls.
I want a tiny house or a tiny
things
apartment
turning
so bad.
into all sorts of cool things. Like this shit would really be awesome. And man, my legs are so sweaty. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, there you go, Kevin.
Wait, what's
Oh,
this?
that
tab?
table is
Unbelievable.
so cool.
What is this cool table?
So this is like transforming furniture that like becomes
Oh, yeah.
bigger. You know,
What's
the
up?
stuff is so genius, dude.
So my guiltiest pleasure in life is watching all of the like tiny house stuff on YouTube
that's fun.
and seeing how they use all the spaces and get all this cool ass
Look at
furniture.
that shit, dude. And it
love
makes
it.
like a seamless sort of product, but that's how it looks on the top left.
Man,
Have you
scans
guys-
There's
are
one that
design,
has like
bro.
a star that spins out that's
Yeah,
super
the-
cool that's round.
I want to
boat,
see the
right?
star. Kevin, find us the star.
You talking about the cruise boat thing?
I was gonna say just
I
keep
don't
fast
know.
forwarding through that. I don't know. I wanted to
I don't
see
know
the
if
rest
it's
of
some
them.
We probably
cruise
shouldn't
boat
be watching
specific.
someone else's video for that long. you
No,
know?
it's
What?
fine.
Dude,
It's
people
either
do
they
that
got
on Twitch
claimed
all
or
the
not.
fucking time.
We're not on Twitch, though.
Mr. Bucket Man.
It's
you know?
true.
We're not gonna get claimed.
No, they're fine. We're helping to sell furniture. I love that. There was a while where I was trying to, when we were furnishing my apartment, when my wife and I got married, we looked at stuff like that, like one of the cool tables, like they just showed that like pulls out, like at Design Within Reach or one of those places. I'm like, this is fucking dope. They're expensive though. And then I'm
they're
like, is
so
it really
cool.
gonna last that long?
This
you know?
table, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen this
Oh
one.
my
Like
god.
a cruise boat.
So that is that what it is?
Yeah.
What?
And it spins
What?
out.
And then it clicks in.
and then
That's
it's
so cool.
Oh, look at
Shut
that.
The front door. It
It's
just
really
disappears.
low quality. You could probably see the lines really.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
it'd be a cool pattern. It would just make a cool pattern.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Look how
So
cool
Not
that is.
saving that much space on this though.
No, but you're
I-
adding. That's not really for space. It's for people.
Yeah.
But what
you
I'm
could go
saying
from having
is-
I
8
think
people
this
to
is-
like 12
Yeah.
people around that table.
What I'm saying is, why not just have 12 people on the just keep it
because
out?
it's a cruise. Maybe you want to transform it for different stuff, you
What,
know?
like shuffleboard?
This is like
Yeah.
a millionaire.
You got me.
A billionaire.
Like,
like
this is a
boat.
yacht.
Here's the thing:
Yeah.
if you have this giant table, you don't want 3 people at this giant ass table. Put them at the smaller table.
I would. I would want all that space for myself.
Wait, to go back to the pin particle thing.
Yeah.
Nick, I think you're really onto something. I would have like a big like,
Dresser drawer.
dresser drawer that I just keep hella shit in.
Yeah.
And then
or
I
a giant toolbox.
yeah, but like you, why not both?
It's
you
kind of
know?
like your junk drawer
yeah,
sort of thing.
And where it's like, oh, if I need a
But
tool,
Kevin would want it organized.
throw it out. Oh, it would be super organized.
Dude,
It
I would
be
love
crazy.
to not have my dresser drawer or like all the stuff just takes up space. And like my room is kind of tiny, right? But I have my table that I bought for like my streaming and just for computer shit or whatever with 2 giant ass monitors on them. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I'd have to go with dresser drawers and shit like that because that's taking up the most space. It's a big chunk, and I could just throw everything from my closet in there too. You know what I mean? Closet would be free.
Yeah.
My closet's a fucking mess, dude. My closet is just like a bunch of Amazon boxes.
Why do
Empty.
you not break them down?
You gotta break
Life
them.
happens, Joe.
It's true. Plus, you never know when you're ready to fall into them, and you don't want to set them back up.
Right.
I have one
Like
more.
if I'm on the roof and I have to fall through the
Yeah.
roof because like a criminal chasing
drug
me.
dealers.
What?
Drug dealers.
Drug dealers chasing me.
Or like a gang of raccoons.
Gang of raccoons.
Oh man, it's too real, guys.
I've got one more thing I would shrink, but you're gonna have to wait till the post show, ladies and gentlemen, to
Really?
hear that. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm leaving it on a
Wow.
cliffhanger.
That
This
cliffhanger.
has been the Kind of Funny podcast for this week. Gentlemen and lady, thank you guys so much for joining us today. If you want to get out there and hear our post shows, you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and back us at that tier. We got lots of different tiers. Every dollar you have out there helps. Really, really does. This year, of course, we did a world tour that's going to end in London. We funded that thing. Very, very excited to go to London. It's been awesome seeing everyone. But your continued support means the world to us. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube and you just happen by this because we have a really snappy title that will either be something about E3 or the PIM particle,
Both.
make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on that little notification because we want you to hear everything we got to say. Until next week, ladies and gentlemen out there, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're on the post show. Here's what I would shrink myself, and here's why. How many times do you want to sleep on a fucking plane and you can't get
comfy.
comfy? You shrink yourself down to the size of the thing.
You're
you sleep
laying
on the
out.
pillow.
You're
just
sleeping
laying
out.
out. And
Okay,
they go,
no,
and
no.
then they go, sir, would you like a drink? And you're like, yeah, because at this size, that beverage is going to be a swimming pool.
No, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Because whatever is inside of the thing shrinks with it. You make like a box, maybe like a bedroom. You shrink your whole house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I hear what
you
you're
have your
saying.
friend take him with you, and you're in your house. You have your bed. You're traveling like just in this giant
So
thing, and then
just downsizing the movie.
I was literally just thinking that.
No, but Andy's honest with me. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. Ha ha ha. You shrink down a little like movie theater bed, like a little chair, like a movie theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you use the headphones. You put them next to you for the audio, and you're watching the big screen on the thing, and it's like a fucking movie theater.
well,
That
drive-in
you're-
theater, like a drive-in
like a
theater.
drive-in theater, and you're just hanging out
IMAX.
there watching it.
Okay,
That'd
so
be
maybe
real
not
cool.
house. Okay, fuck the house thing.
But something portable
No,
that's
here's the thing.
comfortable.
You create like a like Kevin, you're
Like a
a builder,
motorhome.
right? I need you to solder me just like a cube, maybe this size.
I don't think we want to
Put a bed in here,
It's a
right?
lot of solder that you would need, right?
all bed, just all bed with maybe a shit or two.
Just a bed. No, I think just
Have you
a bed.
maybe
seen that
someplace to go
giant
poop.
couch that Meg and Gavin have
No.
in her profile? Maybe not her profile, in her pictures that she
No.
posts. It's made by
the
Love
couch.
Sack.
Yeah, this thing
And it
is
looks
gigantic.
really cozy.
Yeah,
I wanna
yeah,
see
yeah.
And that's what I want.
Kevin, can you Google this thing?
Yeah, I'm working
Google
on it.
Here's
Love Sack
Meg Turney
couch.
Love Sack
Okay,
couch.
yeah. So
Or just Love Sack couch.
what we're doing for space and for comfort, I'm making myself a box, right? And there's a bed in there. There's the things I like and I appreciate. And that's like free travel, right? Like if you're going with your friends somewhere, it's like, oh, just bring me along in this box. I'm going to relax in my bed or whatever.
Don't forget them in your pocket and sit on me.
No,
though.
but here, check this out. And
Or
then
throw me in the
you
wash.
set down the box on the table, and then I walk out, and then you place me on the ground. You make me bigger, and suddenly we're doing our thing. You downsize me, put me in a little house, unless you have a vendetta against me.
Then they're going to keep you small forever.
Yeah,
This is
that's
why I
what
don't
I'm
trust
saying.
my
This is like
friends
a
with this
genie in a
technology.
bottle thing.
I need to
Scary.
have the belts on myself. You think Kevin's not going to fuck with all of us if we're small and he's big?
Man,
he does that
imagine
face
little
like
tiny
he
Kevin.
look like a goddamn Titan from Attack on Titan, just smiling
we
at
would
us with his dead eyes.
inevitably fuck up with Kevin, and it would turn into Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Giant Kevin.
Oh,
Giant Kevin.
Kevin bigger, falling down on his butthole because his socks are too slippery.
I'm not
Kev-
finding any.
I feel you though. I've got
Did
the,
you
I've got
Google
the slippery
Love Sack
socks.
couch?
Is that what you actually? I was just on her Instagram and Twitter.
Try Love Sack
It
couch.
might have
just
been, like,
Google
in
that.
her
I'm sure we can
YouTube
find something
channels.
close enough. While he's doing that, I wanted to bring the conversation back to something I meant to talk about on the show. But guess what? You guys are the awesome ones out there who are supporting us. You get to hear my thoughts on this. I had nothing to watch yesterday. It was late, and I just wanted to watch a few things before. Holy shit! Is that
What?
it?
Hell?
It seems like she's small. Like she's been.
I mean,
shrunk
she
down.
is like small, but look
No,
how
but,
giant
like,
that
I've
couch
met her.
is.
She's not that like.
Yeah, she's like 5'3",
This looks
5'4".
like she's like 1.5
Yeah.
feet tall.
yeah.
I don't like that.
I love
It's-
it.
I don't like the
can't-
color.
I
But
don't-
you can get different covers.
Yeah.
That looks a little bit better, but
Yeah.
I guess you can move those cushions out, right?
Yeah.
these come out.
That
They're
I
like
like that.
ottomans.
Okay, because I wouldn't want to lay down the whole time, like with my feet out in front of me. I think that would
It's
be uncomfortable.
crazy comfortable.
Wait, is this
looking.
also their place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have,
have
different
two.
covers for it?
I think so.
I got a dope ass.
No, because
place.
yeah, it's the same. That's the same room. I
Is
wonder
it?
how difficult.
That might be a different room.
Oh my gosh, look at Tiny
got the same
Meg.
Let me see. Go to the.
They
They switch right now. They pin particle there.
See, it's the same shelves.
Oh
yeah.
you're right. Maybe they just tried that, didn't like that, and they got a white one instead.
That's so funny.
Or maybe they change it based on like season, you know?
That's true. I mean, it's
The Tiny Meg picture is very funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's really funny.
No, so I was needing something to watch last night, and I looked, and I don't know why this happened, but I looked and I was like, oh, FXX Simpsons all day long, right? I haven't watched The
Alright.
Simpsons forever.
Alright.
I'll just turn that on right now. Maybe it's an older episode from my past that I'll remember, and I'll watch it for 5 seconds. It was an episode from 2016, and I laughed my fucking ass off.
Yeah.
I don't understand how after 29 seasons or 30 seasons of that show, it's still fucking hilarious and still like my wife was watching too. We giggled the entire time because it's very much like about social commentary now.
Yeah.
And it's very like, I was like, oh, I didn't think they were going to go that hard with it. Turns out that now the newest episodes are on Hulu. I'm going to watch all the 30th season. Why not? I'm back in on The Simpsons, baby. Back in.
If you've got Comcast,
I do.
so you could go to.
Can you just go to FXX and watch all of them?
The app, and they're all there. They're gonna
Fuck.
move. Disney has already said that they're moving them.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, because it's coming to the Disney
Yeah.
streaming
I might need the
services.
Disney streaming service then.
I don't know if it's
Not
gonna be
until
on
November.
the Disney service. They were saying they're gonna move it somewhere else.
Dude, I was flabbergasted, to use a Greg Miller dumb shit term, by how good that show still is. And it's crazy to me because I remember thinking, oh, this is going to be very nostalgic, and obviously the show's not going to hold up. Nope, still solid. Still a really, really, really good show. Biting commentary, hilarious jokes.
I've never watched it.
I think you'd like
Ever?
it.
I don't like, we've gone over this. I don't like adult animated stuff.
Or you just watch Nirvana Band Show.
season 2.
Okay, all right, Nathan,
So
for
good.
you, we get it. Those are your two favorite shows. No, Simpsons. You should
Joey
go
loved it.
though.
It was really good.
Nirvana the band, the show.
Yeah, it's very
Like,
funny.
Seeing the chat react, I'm telling you, Nick, knowing what was going to happen and see the chat being like, are you fucking kidding me? There's these huge moments that happen. And then I DM'd the guy, Jay, and I was like, chat fucking loved it, dude. Thank you for letting me do this. Everybody was like super stoked. He was like,
you watched it on stream?
yeah.
You did a watch along, right?
Yeah, and he was like, "What's your email? I'll send you a Google Drive link for season 2."
That's awesome.
Because it's so
You should
hard.
interview
It's
those
so hard
guys.
for them to distribute this damn show. Like they just want eyes on it.
You
Because
should
it's
get
so
them in for We Have
fucking
Cool
good, dude.
Friends.
That'd be fun.
Be really cool. Be really cool.
Reach out to them and be like, hey, can you guys come in anytime in the next literal year?
mean, they're in
need
Canada, yeah.
So we'll fly, man. Literally,
Or
I
we
mean,
go
reach
back
out.
to Vancouver.
Reach out to them today and see if you can get a couple of them to come down just for a day in San
only two of
Francisco.
them.
Where are they in? Are they in Vancouver? Oh, dude, that's a 2 hour
No,
flight.
They're Toronto.
They're in Toronto.
That's a longer flight. That's longer. That's like East Coast.
Yeah.
That'd be
But
fun.
what if we send Andy to Toronto, hit up all the sites, go to the Rivoli?
We have all this great equipment here.
Yeah, the problem is it would cost us money to send Andy there, and then also cost us money to potentially hire a freelancer. Whereas it might actually be cheaper just to fly them here for a day.
Then Andy could do like a tour of all the cool spots.
Yeah, but we always say that, but then you know what he ends up doing? He ends up getting fucking Takis and watching like Mr. Belvedere at night in the hotel room.
Belvedere?
What did
What
we
is
watch?
that?
Oh, we watched like
Superbad?
Billy Madison or some shit. Superbad was at Kevin's
Or you
bachelor
bait
party.
Andy into watching Wild Wild West because he thinks that's what's on TV.
That movie's
He doesn't know
terrible.
that we
So
have Netflix.
infuriating. So infuriating.
That's my favorite story.
Pizza, everybody's drunk, and Wild Wild West is on for 40 minutes, and I'm like,
And then
okay,
someone-
I guess we're watching Wild Wild West, and then
Someone
Jen
pauses
drops
it.
Jen drops the remote, and then it like fucking fast forwards. And I was like, we're voluntarily watching Wild Wild West at 2 something in the morning, dude.
That is the funniest
It's on
fucking story.
Netflix. We have so many options.
Oh god, that is
God, it
such a
was
funny
so
story. You should write that into your stand-up act because it's hilarious.
So infuriating.
That
dude.
is
So good.
my favorite fucking thing.
You didn't have things to watch.
Wait, do we not like Wild Wild West?
No, I
No.
didn't.
It's just the
It's
fact
not
that-
good.
It's
Really?
not good, but the
Well,
fact
yeah,
that,
but like,
but
it's
the fact that we were
enjoyable.
voluntarily watching it, Kevin. I mean, like it's Netflix. We have The Office. We have other things. We could
Could've
just
watched
kinda-
a lot of other things.
We could just throw
But
on
I
whatever.
like it, and I haven't watched it in a while.
It's a good drunk pick.
It's not.
It's not a
very
good sober
I
pick.
enjoy it.
It's not a good pick.
I watched Big Little Lies season 1.
What'd you think?
I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
so
a lot of
good.
people were like, though, they could have ended with season 1 and it didn't need to come back. That's what a lot of people
it's
say.
a very like concise story. You could
Yeah.
have totally ended there. Very excited. I have to wait a whole week to watch the first 2 episodes of season 2 because I told Gia that I would wait because we're going to this thing it's like press screening thing for it.
I'm
but
so shocked you didn't like Sharp Objects.
did not like. Nope. I think it's
Dee didn't
because I
like it either.
like.
It's weird.
Well, I like Gillian Flynn and I liked reading Gone Girl so much, and Sharp Objects and the other one were just not.
I bet Sharp Objects would be a better book than it was a show.
Wasn't a great
No.
book either.
Sometimes people are. Well, she's not a one-hit wonder. She's done other stuff that's making
She had
movies,
a
right?
third book that I don't remember what it's called right now.
D
But
and
Gone Girl
I.
was so good.
D was like, "Do you want to start Chernobyl?"
Ooh.
And I was like, "Yes," but she's like, "I don't know if I'm gonna like it." I'm like, first off, based on everything people have said about this, we're in for
It's
5
dark.
episodes. So you either we're gonna start this and do all 5, or we're not. I'm not doing the thing where you're kind of in, you're kind of out, and I can't watch it for 2 weeks. So she goes, fine. Well, it's because we finished. My next guest needs no introduction. We finished the Haddish episode. Very, very good. You guys should watch season 2 of that. Start watching it. Motherfuck. One of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
So
dude.
intense though.
It is so fucked up what happened to those people. And the fact that even if, I mean, I'm assuming most of it's true, but even if only 90% or 80% of it's like accurate, Jesus Christ. Like they get to the part where they go, and they're not really spoilers because, I mean, it happens the first 5 seconds and the fucking reactor blows.
It's a real life event.
It's a real life event. Everyone knows how it ended. But they get to the part where they talk about the 3, have you watched it?
The Ronkin, yeah.
The 3 roofs.
Oh yeah.
So they've got like Molly, whatever, and whatever, and I forget what the worst of them was called, but I think it was called Molly, where it was so bad, it was so radioactive, they couldn't even use a machine because the machine, the gamma radiation coming from the particles.
They're trying to knock off the mercury blocks off of this
Got it.
building, off the
Graphite
roof of this
blocks.
building. Graphite, yeah.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Oh,
I'll
so-
watch it, but I don't care about spoilers.
So, but it's fascinating because they do a really, really, really good job of explaining to you how all of this stuff works without losing you,
Yeah.
and then showing you the ramifications of why this thing was so cataclysmic. And they do it in a very, very smart way. At one point, they even use like a scale model because there's a trial that happens. But yeah, one of the scariest, most terrifying things is the thing exploded and it shot out pieces of the core onto the roofs. And so it was just challenge after challenge trying to figure out how to clean this thing up because you're dealing with radioactive particles that are like 40 times stronger than the Hiroshima bomb. And so
They're gonna get into the water.
and they're going to get, and yeah, the whole point is they're trying to stop at a certain point, they're trying to stop the actual core because it's still going from melting down. That's why they call it a meltdown, because it gets so hot, it melts into the ground. And like, it's fucking,
And
it's
they're like, this
insane.
water supplies
Half
water
of Ukraine.
Yeah. All of like so
it's
much.
going to kill 50 million
Europe
people
and,
if we don't do this. And like, they got to get coal miners in. They have to, and the sad thing
is
is,
this the one where they get all the old people to help clean up?
no.
Because they were like, we don't really care if we get radiation
they
poisoning.
touch on that, but they didn't get them clean up. They basically have to like these hard decisions to make with this thing where they have to essentially say like, look, like there's a great moment where they have to go to like these coal miners and ask them to dig a tunnel underneath this thing and put a giant heat sink in there, because if they don't start taking some of the heat out of it, it will melt into the water supply. And the coal miners know exactly what the fuck's going on. They're like, don't lie to us. Like, what is, like there's a great scene where the guy's like, here, your people can wear this. And he's like, does that mask work? It's a mask.
He's
And
like,
the
you're
guys
not
are like,
wearing it.
The guy's like, no. And he goes, you know how I know it doesn't fucking work? Because if it worked, you'd be wearing one right now. And it's just this all
And they
these
know
of,
they're
drop,
doomed.
Yeah, drop the fucking pretense. We know we have to go in. And then it becomes kind of like a secondary story of like what all the lies led to this. Because there's a lot of like lies that led the Soviet Union to like making this thing kind of faulty. So you can't solve this with lies. You got to be straight up with people and tell them basically if they go up on that fucking roof, they're going to die. Or if they dig behind this thing, there's a chance they're going to die.
Did you
and
finish
they just,
it?
oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we ended up finishing all 5 of them. And I was like,
my gosh.
what a fucking, and we're talking like I think they're like an hour and 10 minutes, hour 15 minutes a
they're
piece. Masterpiece.
It recently became IMDb's highest rated TV show.
You have to
Interesting.
get past the fact that
I watched
everyone
the
in
first
Russia has a
episode.
British accent.
Yeah.
Once you get past that, it's phenomenal. And just this, I mean, Kevin, have you watched it yet?
I only watched the first episode.
Yeah,
You should
He didn't really do it for
It
him.
didn't grab me, but I'm gonna keep trying.
You should keep watching it because of the science. They start getting into the science of why it happened, and it is
some science.
absolutely fascinating. I think you'd like it a
kinda
lot because you
horrifying
know a
in
lot
some
about
moments.
nuclear fission, and like it's cool because the whole thing is set up to be.
Does Kevin know about nuclear fission? Is this like an established thing?
Yes, Kevin knows about nuclear. We had a whole talk about how the sun works one time, and he was like, "It's just a big nuclear bomb going off, multiple like billions of nuclear bombs going off." I
Was
like,
this separate
cool.
from the time when everyone
Sean
debated on
Finnegan.
if the moon disappeared?
I think
what
this
would
was
happen?
related to that, maybe, but we weren't quite
It
sure.
wasn't related to it, and we all know that the moon wouldn't kill us.
It's true. The moon wouldn't kill. That's empirical fact. We figured that out. We've called scientists.
Called NASA.
All right, we got a jet. We got to do I got to finish cutting the KFAF bit for tomorrow, and we got to do some rehearsal stuff, and then I got to go walk into an icebox and die. Everyone out there, love you very much. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.